and gentlemen, and welcome to the 578th and 79th episode for live people. We'll explain that after. But yeah, there's a lot of news to break down. You know, that's what happens is we get the strike going on. We go, okay, next week we'll skip news this week, do something else, or maybe take a break. And then when we skip news, don't cover little news, there's a bunch of stuff drops. But you know what? That's not a bad thing in strike times. I am the Fleabag, Travis Snell, and I'm joined by...
I'm Little Lamb, Kirkland Patzer.
I'm the Sign of Science, Taylor Field.
Was that always going to be your name, the Sign of Science?
The moment I watched one of those trailers, yeah, it was going to be my nickname.
Okay, there you go. Because me and Kirkland were debating if it was going to be something about Little Lamb or something like that.
I thought you were going to have Little Lamb.
Boys. Yeah.
Not today.
Thanks for that response.
Pause.
Yeah. Good
He's like
job.
a Fallout character.
Yeah. Then you got
Angry
angry fucking
response.
bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Fallout, Starfield, go check out me and Dylan's impressions review, and then Taylor, if he doesn't fall asleep, he's going to be joining us on Monday.
For that story, oh boy.
Yeah. It sounds like he's having a hard time with
Starfield over flight simulator situation. Kirkland. Holy shit.
Oh, that's
one of my favorite gaming stories.
Okay. I didn't understand because you said that, and there's something in the game, I'd say not similar to that, but Flight Simulator-esque. I'm like, you don't have to do that. That's an optional thing. So
for Kirkland's benefit, like I won't tell the whole thing, but like I fell asleep and I woke up and I was like in a space, but I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
I fell asleep last night too.
Wheel.
Yeah, I did too playing
so
Starfield.
funny.
I got back from the gym and I'm on New Game Plus now, and it's just like fucking addicting. And it's just so I'm there and I went.
You're
to the
on
gym.
New Game Plus now. Is that what you said? Oh my gosh, you're
Check out
Speedy Gonzalez.
Well, check out the review. There'll be non-spoilers, of course, but there's like there's a lot of hubbub around the New Game Plus, so I was like, I gotta get
I've
to
heard.
it, and it's not disappointed. And I will
Ooh.
check out Starfield, but it definitely feels a story guy. Really love this. Like I'll say this, a preview for impressions. I think this is my favorite rendition of a New Game Plus ever in the history of gaming.
Ooh.
It is just so cool what they do. Taylor's never gonna see it because I don't know if he's ever gonna beat it, but you know, Taylor, that should motivate you at least once a week. Always get in there and play some Starfield because it's worth it. You go, wow, this is some cool shit. So check out. There'll be a
Nice.
full deep dive coming up there. And yeah, we have weekly Ahsoka reviews. Kirkland, you're gone next week. We heard, right? You're not here.
Yes, I'm avoiding
Aw,
next week,
damn.
unfortunately, but I've heard it's spicy. My mom was giving me shit because she was checking into your guys' review, and apparently you guys were calling me out for not being there. So my mom let me know that you guys were missing me.
The people want you, us people, you know. And I love that your mom has to like, oh, they're saying shit about you, you know.
I've been telling you about those Travis and Taylor guys. I don't know
Yeah.
about. You should be on there.
Negative review. We know it's Kirkland's mom. We need more Kirkland on the podcast. But yeah, check out that episode. That was a spicy one. This Sunday coming up, we may or may not do something. It's D23, but it's like one of those abbreviated ones, but they said they're doing a showcase and there's like a hour and a half there. So I don't know if it's a bunch of stuff like the shitty ass Goosebumps trailer that they took down today. I don't know if we'll have to do it, but we'll see if there's like we'll see, because even Loki, they just dropped like a teaser recently. We're not going to cover today because that wasn't anything big. So that's like a touch and go. That might be one of me, Kirkland, and Dylan. Taylor didn't say anything, so don't expect him around, but you never know. So look out for that. But if not, yeah, we're doing two newscasts in one. We're going to split it. Our video listeners, it'll just be one feed, and the audio listeners, you're going to get, well, if you're on Patreon, which we'll talk about in a second, you can get the whole shebang right now, Friday morning, good to go. If not, they're going to be divided just because we don't want to cram the feed up because, yeah, there's lots of good topics to talk about. And also, patrons, you need to go over there right now. So, as always, get this episode and many others ad-free, early, get exclusive episodes. Did I just post? I think soon it's getting posted the bread and butter because I forgot to edit that. So bread and butter, we talk about if the Disney MCU shows have hurt the MCU brand. It's actually a really good conversation that me, Dylan, and Kirkland had. So go check out that one. And then what else on there? Bread and butter as usual. That was bread and butter, the originals. I think the week, sorry Taylor, but I think the week you're gone, I think the 20, whatever that is, After 9 will be happening in 2 weeks. So that'll be fun. We missed one in August, so we'll be doing that. And then more importantly, if you want to support us, join any tier. But the biggest tier is the producer tier. You know, you get these shout outs. So big shout out to our Patreon producers, Aaron Brain, April Darkness, Joshua Wright, Jack Grant, and Muds, because you guys and gals and anyone else that wants to join have a big task, because we are putting up our Halloween retrospective poll. So obviously Halloween and Christmas are coming up. This is some of the most submissions we've ever gotten. So right now you go join that tier and you can vote between these movies: 30 Days a Night, Bloodfest, Deep Rising, Haunt, House of Wax. I put 2015. It's supposed to be 2005, so I'll edit that later on. It Follows or Return of the Living Dead. So 7 options going on right there. So the producers, they get to decide. So go over there. That's why it's producers too. You decide what you want for our content. So go do that. Soon there'll be another X-Men retrospective. Lots of good jazz up there. Taylor Fieldwork, and they find it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find it with your internet connection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerse Cast is our Twitter, and GeekVerse is our Facebook.
Espo says All Fun and Games has been out for a week, and according to Letterboxd, less than 300 people have seen it. Oh, yeah, I think it's on VOD, right? I'll watch it. I'll check it out at some point. I've been having a run this week. I watched the Meg 2 today, and I can see Taylor. So Taylor, first of all, I have to read your Letterboxd review because I thought you were going a little too ham for some reason.
It's not there anymore. I don't know why it put 2 in.
Took it down.
No, because I accidentally put 2 in because you were like, "Oh, you loved it so much, you watched it twice." It's like, well, that's
tons of
fucked up.
profanity.
No.
He was like, "What's with all these smart women in this movie?"
I took the one out, and then I guess I took the one out that had my review, but the review doesn't save across multiple watchings. It was annoying.
He was like, "How did this get a sequel, but not this and not this?" He listed all these movies. And they're all like movies that bombed, and I was like, "Well, those are it has nothing to do with quality. Like that's why you got to make 2 and not all these ones, because like
The Meg 2 though it actually kills some of its members like off screen, like that.
That has nothing to do with the sequel. There's nothing.
Everything to do with the sequel. It changes the story up and everything like that.
I just didn't understand your review of it being like, why did all these movies get sequel, but this one did, and this movie sucks? Because it's like, well, because the first Meg made money, so that's why they made this. All the movies you listed did not make money,
How much
so they
did
didn't
the
get a
first one
sequel.
make? What was
It made its
profit?
budget back and some more. I think the big thing is it's big in China over there, and you can see in the sequel they got lots of Chinese actors, like they're riddled in it. Yeah, I watched. I don't care. Not a big spoiler. I couldn't believe like 2 minutes in they just like kills like his love interest from the first movie is just dead. It's just like, and she's off-screen dead, off-screen dead
so
too.
funny.
And he's just like adopted her daughter. It's just like, yeah, I'm here. It's like they didn't want to pay the actors.
But they
or
introduced the
something.
brother who wasn't even a thing in the
Yeah.
first movie.
I know, not a good movie.
like it.
So Taylor, because your review didn't make any sense to me, so I want to give you this assessment. The first movie, I felt like it was Jason Statham versus sharks, and you kind of had some bad people around, but it's Statham versus sharks. Is it a fair assessment that you don't like this movie because it's Jason Statham versus a bunch of shitty bad humans, and the sharks are just kind of around? They've kind of done a flip where in
That
the
was
first
my
movie
big red flag.
was
Yeah, because
Well-
like I thought it was cool when we got in. We got to see like the biggest Meg and all these other sharks and stuff like that. It was very cool, but it was like, oh, they're not really like a thing. Like we've learned
They're
to kinda,
barely
like,
in it.
Yeah, we learned how to not detain them, but just kind of keep them at bay. And it's not even like not even a threat. When the first Meg attack happens, I thought, okay, this is cool. It's getting pretty crazy, some Free Willy stuff, and then it's just like, oh, that it's over and done with. There's nothing really threatening with it. And when we get down there, it's like, oh, this whole operation. It's like, wow, this is kind of lame. So it just felt like they were crossing the threshold into like Pacific Rim or something like
That's
that.
an insult to Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim is miles better than this movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so no, I watched that. Not very good. And yeah, the first one's like enjoyable enough, but this one was not. Oh gosh, what else did I watch? I watched Past Lives. That was really good. That's like that's a show. It's a movie about these 2 kids. Can't remember where they live. It's some Asian country, but they're like in love. Yeah, some company. They're like in love at the age of like 12 or whatever. They go on their first date. They both talk about how they're going to marry each other, and then they get separated and they get back together when Facebook's created. And it's this kind of idea of like what happens when you meet your childhood crush at your first love. Really good, really emotional. So there's that one. I watched The Boogeyman, which was quite disappointing. I didn't enjoy that as much as I wanted. Yeah, it just kind of run of the mill. Oh man, Strays, fucking awful. Strays.
I was surprised you watched it, honestly.
I just,
I guess at the same time, not really.
I'm at home now, right? So if I wasn't working at home, no, but like that's a perfect movie where I'm like, okay, I'll throw this on. I can kind of tune in and tune out if I need to. But it was It was not good. Taylor, you might enjoy it, but I just felt like it was the lowest tier humor. Just like it's just like a bunch of 15-year-olds got together and like let's just say fuck and like let's let the dogs fuck everything. It's just not good. Not and I love Will Forte and he was all right, but no. And the best movie I watched this week was that Last Voyage of the Demeter. I really enjoyed that one. There's
That
a movie
was hype.
yeah,
Oh
it was a
my
good one.
God.
I really like the Dracula. I fucking love the last 2 minutes, even though it's kind of like a cliffhanger. It sucks because you're not getting that sequel. But I was like, fuck, like I want more. That was definitely my movie of the week. I enjoyed Demeter a lot. So
I really appreciate how that movie had so many good. I call them like wallpaper moments. I think I put that in like my review on Letterboxd. Just there's so many, not even slow-mo scenes, but just a moment with like Dracula or just a shot that's like, man, this scene looks so good.
Oh,
This is
wallpaper,
poster worthy.
okay,
Yeah.
that clicked in, yeah. The wallpaper, like I thought you meant like actual wallpaper. Like were they boring?
No.
Like what was
It
that?
subverts expectations too, because like I never
Well-
read that part of the novel, so I don't know
Two-part,
if that was based 100% off of the book or if they changed things around in the story.
Pause. Two things. One, you said subverts expectations. All the trailers were Dracula's on a boat. What it like? It doesn't subvert anything. Dracula's on the boat.
They go to space.
I was expecting. I don't want to like spoil it, but I was expecting many different characters to go different ways and for a different thing to kind of go and just like certain deaths and especially the way it ended. I did not expect that at all. I didn't even expect it to start off the way it did. It just was like, oh, this is different.
Okay, and number two, were you just trying to boldface lie and say that you've read Dracula?
No, I said I didn't read it, so I didn't know what this was based on.
No, you said I didn't read that part of Dracula. So in my mind, you got to the Demeter chapter like,
Oh yeah, I was like,
let's
I don't know,
let's
we're
skip
done.
that
This is
chapter.
Yeah.
Let's skip
Still
that
no
chapter.
pictures.
I meant that as in I've not read any of Dracula.
Okay. You said I have not read that part, so I thought you were literally just picking chapters. Like, I'll circle back to this one. You know,
No,
Just
I've not read that part.
Yeah. So there you
Well,
go.
speaking of vampires, I watched Hotel Transylvania too. That's the movie I watched this week.
Right,
And I quite liked it. I still like the first one a lot more. I hadn't seen that one until now, and then haven't seen the third one, and I don't think Shay's seen that one either. So
There's a
it'll be a
fourth.
first
Don't
watch.
forget about
There's a
fourth.
fourth. Okay, I didn't know that. We got
Amazon
two more movies to
Prime
watch.
exclusive, and for some weird reason, Adam Sandler does not do the voice in the fourth one.
Ooh, I don't like that.
You think
I
it's
feel like
the
I've
easiest money, but
Yeah, I feel like I've really grown attached to his Dracula voice, but I'll be missed.
I will say
but
the guy does a good job. You probably wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you, but I don't
Yeah?
think you need to
Okay.
worry about the fourth one. So
That's, that's good. Why does it just go downhill?
it's forgettable, I guess. It's tough for me
Forgettable,
because I've always wanted to get around to see them. I never did, and we just like binged them in a weekend. So I just view them as like one movie now
Yeah,
in my head.
that's fair.
You know, like I had no idea that they had a kid in that second one. And it's like, have
Yeah.
you seen all the trailers? I'm like, no, I had no idea.
It's like
about
the whole
this kid.
beginning of the movie. It's just like recapping what they've been up to. It's like, oh wow, okay. But I really haven't been watching like any movies really. Shay's been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty on I think it's Prime.
Right.
It's like one of those rom-com things, and I've kind of been half watching it. And actually, I put on Dune that night that we played COD at like 2 a.m. or something. Great time to put on that movie. I think I got to the point that they were in Arrakis, and I just passed out so hard. But I was gonna rewatch it right before the next one was coming out, but of course I have a little bit more time with that. But I'll have to jump back on there.
Yeah. S-Pub says, I saw a Netflix interactive rom-com called Choose Love. It was okay. Some funny options you can choose, though. If you pick the boring guy, it's only 50 minutes long. Wow. That's interesting. An interactive rom-com. I guess you're making the choices, like, if they end up together and stuff.
Oh, I think I know what he's talking about. I saw a
Like,
trailer
that's just
for that.
life.
Yeah.
You know?
people
My
wanna
life
play
was
it
an
on
interactive
Netflix.
rom-com, you know? Yeah.
And you won.
Taylor?
Look at you now.
Yep, I won. Taylor.
What's up?
What you been up to?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little of that. Madison's been watching or binging Lost, so I've been kind of. I haven't been watching it, but I've been chiming in for like the odd episode throughout the first season.
in. The show sucks.
What trash?
There's like, it definitely like I know there's a huge following back in the day for Lost, and
So have you
It's a
all
little
seen it,
dated.
though?
It's a little dated now.
no, I've not seen all
Okay.
of it. I binged the first
Neither.
season a long time ago, but I fell off and did not pick up after into season 2 or anything like that. And so now she's through season 1, and so I was just kind of like watching here and there whenever she's got it on the TV because she
Good
plays
show.
it as like a background show. But man, that CGI was shit. I don't know how people back in the day were watching it like, oh, this is so
It's
intense
dated.
when this polar bear looks atrocious. Oh my god, it's
It probably looks as good as the Golden Compass movie with.
I put the
No,
Golden
Golden
Compass,
Compass
over
is
it
better
for
than
sure.
It probably looked pretty similar though, because I feel like that's a very dated movie as
No.
well.
There's no way. I'm telling you, a movie budget's better than the ABC
I'm sure it's
budget.
better, but still, I feel like looking back on Golden Compass, if I watch that, it's like, holy fuck, this polar bear looks
I
terrible.
put Golden Compass over that for sure.
That's Kirkland's hottest take.
That's my hottest take. Big Golden Compass defenders over here.
Did you ever? Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're a fan. I was gonna say there's a TV show on Max that got canceled, but
So
Not interested.
we also did.
I didn't read that part of that movie or that novel.
yeah, I skipped that part. Make sure you talk to
How-
Mike Taylor. 8 years.
House at the End of the
strong.
Street. I've never seen that movie. I know they came out just to ride off the success of Jennifer's like Hunger Games films. I feel like.
Oh, that one,
And
right?
I never saw it. We just put it on over the weekend. I was like, holy shit, this one really caught me by surprise at the end, just the way the story unfolded. I actually
Okay.
enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It was weird, but I was like, oh shit, this is just a really strong turn here in the story.
Yeah, it's all right. I remember seeing that off the Hunger Games hype, and just I think it's a movie. You might be wrong. I feel like I have to look because I could be wrong, but I swear it was a movie that was maybe like filmed before Hunger Games and was kind of sat on, and then when Hunger Games blew up, I'll look into it when it came out. It was filmed, but yeah, it was pretty much Kirkland. Like I don't know, we can spoil fucking the house on the end of the street or something. She just falls in love with this boy, and like the big twist is the boy ends up being like this killer, and there's like
Oh, I've
ghosts and
seen
shit.
that. I've
Yeah.
seen that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about it till you mentioned it was Jennifer.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, same thing. Like it was out of my incomplete existence. I had like taken that memory and deleted it, and Taylor did a
100%.
re-upload. You know.
Re-upload. We also have been watching the 50 Shades films. Get into those.
Oh, really? That's interesting
Yeah.
with the new baby round too.
Reminds me, yeah, she usually is asleep in the room, but it's just just reminds me of like a more adult version of Twilight without the vampires and the werewolves or something like that.
Is it cheese ball like that?
It just I feel like there's a similar aesthetic or
God,
some
Taylor.
kind of thing. What?
I just feel sometimes you are from. We're gonna talk about aliens later. We're gonna talk about another planet and stuff like that. Do you know the origin of the 50 Shades of Grey books and
Yeah, they're
movies?
Based origin? No.
Yeah. How or why were they written?
I could not tell you.
They were originally Twilight fan fiction, and
I
then
didn't
they
know
cha-
that.
See, I didn't know
Yes.
that either. I didn't know
Oh
that
my
either.
God, that was
Come
the
on,
whole
Travis.
thing.
He's
I've
like,
never
oh,
read
we're
the
gonna talk about
books, I've never
aliens
seen them.
later. This
Yeah.
guy.
Wait, why did I talk about? Oh no, because I talked about you being an alien, not anything to do with 50
I don't
Shades
know
of
about
alien. Yeah.
I don't know about the mythos of 50 Shades here.
That's the big
I
thing
didn't
in
know that
Roof's
either.
town, just big alien cock. Just- I can never be satisfied.
The Hans Zimmer score hit. Oh.
His little tune. Ah! Fuck! Whenever I hear that, I just get hyped. But no, it was it was Twilight fan fiction, and then they kind of repurposed it. That's why the books literally have like spelling errors and mistakes in there. Like you can go down the
did
rabbit
not know
hole.
that.
So that's why when you're saying, "Oh, it has a very similar aesthetic and feeling of Twilight," because it's just a Twilight ripoff. Like it's literally that. Yeah. So there you go. So you can think about the person that wrote this originally was writing this with the idea of Edward and Bella in mind to doing all these things.
Well, that makes sense now.
Which is
I'm
a
glad we
very
solved that
tame
mystery.
sex movie. I'm sorry, people. If you think that's a hot, like, I know, I guess, sorry, you're watching. I'm not shitting on you guys, but you know what? Go put on Shame. Go put on Nymphomaniac. You imagine watch Nymphomaniac, and then you'll just be fucked up. Go watch Love. You know, there's some real good ones you go watch. There's some real fucking going on, you know? Yeah. Not this just softcore thrusting and everything. So, just like how the after movies are Harry Styles fan fiction. Oh God, that's what the After We Collide, I didn't know there was Harry Styles fan fiction. Those are like some other like sexy 50 Shades movie that me and Emily always say we're gonna watch, like have a funny laugh at, but we haven't. The trilogy's concluding this September, guys. So get ready.
Okay.
You know, there might be
Ready.
some Travis fan fiction out there too. You might have a diehard fan out there.
Travis
Maybe.
Smells out there.
Oh, you never know.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're. Hopefully, they're not writing fanfic. Whatever.
I was gonna say
Oh,
if they're
yeah.
writing
They
fanfic
got
though,
a
it's
few
about like us
volumes.
three. Yeah, it's not me
Yeah.
and Emily.
Oh,
I
It'll
don't
be
want to
us
know what
three.
we're doing to each other in
Yeah.
those
Oh
books.
no.
Someone, oh, too bad Chat GPT doesn't know GeekVerse. I'd love to say like write a fan fiction on GeekVerse. You can't pull it up. You've already tried. It doesn't do anything.
No, we might have something on that. Let's
Yeah,
try it
sure.
out.
There is a fanfic for everything. True, Superman Mike, but it's just like the case of like some of them break through, and I was surprised you didn't know about 50 Shades. It's just so funny. They're like, oh, it's like that Twilight. It's like you watching fucking like scary movie and be like, this scene feels a lot like the Scream movies, but like a little different.
Yeah, that's a very alien trait. If Taylor was making that comment.
Oh
So,
my
but-
god.
What?
I think
Uh-oh.
it's actually doing it.
But how to? Before you said, what do you think of GeekVerse podcast?
It's just a
It's like,
video
fuck
of us
off.
fucking each other.
AI generated. Just.
This is it's actually pumping it out. Holy
But how
shit.
does it know our names?
Oh yeah.
What? Oh
That's
my
crazy.
god! Oh, let's fucking go. Okay,
You want me to
Pumping
read it
this
off
out
real
already.
quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go.
Is Dylan in there too?
No, he's not.
Okay, just three.
So
of us.
what was the question you posed it?
Write me a fanfic of GeekVerse podcast between the hosts.
No, Dylan.
Title
Okay.
GeekVerse Chronicles: The Cosmic Convergence.
Holy fuck.
Whoa, shit!
I like that.
Us fucking is gonna like create the one ring. Okay, good.
Okay, it has chapters. Chapter 1: A mysterious message in a dimly lit basement.
Fuck
Oh
me.
no.
Let's play a game called Who's in My Mouth.
Illuminated only by the glow of computer screens and a collection of action figures.
That sounds like Taylor.
3 friends gathered around a table cluttered with comics, gaming consoles, and a microphone. They were Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland, the hosts of the popular podcast GeekVerse.
This is getting weird.
Oh yeah, public podcast. I wonder if that's because we have been on the most episodes together, so that's probably why they take us to 3. But
This does like ChatGPT only goes up to like 2020 or something like that, so
Oh,
it might
okay.
be before Dylan's like resurgence. That might be the
Right.
case.
he'll be in
right?
the sequel. Yeah. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
This is-
He's probably in the end credit scene.
yeah. Yeah. Wanna fuck?
A dimlier lit
Yeah.
basement.
Doing
Every-
Custer Dome.
Every week they delved into the realms of geekdom, discussing movies, TVs, comics, and all things nerdy. Tonight was different though.
Oh fuck!
This is gonna be 50 Shades of 50 Shades of the Geekverse.
This is our best episode right here.
A strange cryptic message had arrived in their inbox, one that promised a cosmic adventure beyond their wildest dreams.
That sounds like a Taylor pickup line if I've ever heard him.
As they read the message aloud together, the excitement in the room grew palpable. And I quote, "Dear hosts of GeekVerse," Travis began, his voice trembling with anticipation. "We've chosen you to be the guardians of the cosmic convergence, a legendary event that could reshape the entire multiverse."
Wait, so Travis is saying this? Or it's like he's
I think
just
you're
possessed
reading.
and
You're
saying
reading
this?
out the message.
Oh,
You're reading out
okay.
the message.
There you go.
Okay, so this isn't gonna be sexual fanfic, is it?
No, I don't think ChatGPT goes.
It
first.
very much feels like it.
Damn. The way you said it made it sound like it
It
because you're
seemed
like,
like it.
on this night something's different. Okay.
It could be played that way, honestly.
Oh damn. Yeah,
Kirkland, the resident comic book expert,
Whoa!
I got
Taking
a
my
boost.
crown.
Yeah.
leaned forward, his eyes gleaming with curiosity. "This sounds like something right out of a comic book, guys. I can't believe it."
You fucking nerd.
Like I'm just a stereotype of like a comic book reader.
You lose. This is just like a adventure, guys.
Taylor, the tech savvy one,
That's fair,
quickly
yeah.
tapped away at his keyboard, trying to decipher the rest of the message. It says we must embark on a quest to collect 3 ancient artifacts scattered across different geek dimensions. Only then we can unlock the power of the cosmic convergence.
We got to make this movie.
Do I
Yeah.
get no special skill?
You just read the message.
I can read. That's my skill. You can read.
The
Cool.
3 friends exchanged excited glances. They were no strangers to geek culture, but there was something entirely new and thrilling.
I
Chapter
love
2,
that ChatGPT is intertwining geek like movies and TV with like space and like the like the cosmos and everything. It's like no, not at all. But and I guess the verse word too. So.
Yeah. Universe.
Chapter 2, the quest begins. Their first stop was the world of video games, armed with their podcasting gear and a map provided by the mysterious message. They found them.
Stop. What's our podcasting gear going to do in our, like, on our venture?
Our
We're being a
microphones.
mic and a
Can
camera.
swing around my mic.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's our lightsaber. It's just like the mics. Yeah.
They found themselves transported to a pixelated wonderland. They landed in the middle of a bustling digital city where characters from their favorite games roamed freely.
This movie got real expensive real fast. It was a fine movie until you said from our favorite games, but so far this is digging it.
Travis grinned as he recognized a group of Overwatch heroes.
Big Overwatch fan.
Well, you
couldn't name
grinned.
one
I
to
don't
save
know.
my life.
I don't know
Right.
if that's like a positive thing. But then you say, this place is amazing. And look, there's Link and Mario over there.
Wow,
You're such a nerd.
we got some. There's Link and Mario. We got some big rights to fill. Hang on, I'll do that. Hang. What's the line again? What's the line?
This place is amazing. And look, there's Link and Mario over there.
Okay. Guys, this place is amazing. Look, there's Link and Mario over there.
Perfect.
You sold. You got the job. Kirkland couldn't contain his excitement. This is like every gamer's dream come true.
All right, Kirkland, go.
This is like every gamer's dream come true.
Everyone's gonna hate us after this fucking movie.
Their first artifact, the controller of power, was rumored to be hidden in the heart of this digital realm.
This
Big
still could be a
dildo.
sexual thing.
Yeah, big dildo.
The trio embarked on a quest facing challenges including solving puzzles, defeating video game bosses, and outsmarting NPCs. Along the way, they interviewed characters like Lara Croft and Master Chief for their podcast.
Holy fuck.
Well, you know what? That's fair. I'm not a big into the interviewer sort of space, but if we had the literal characters there,
Yeah.
it would be worth to sit them down and be like, "Hey, tell us your
Master
story."
Cheeks. Why did you
Yeah,
get naked
Master
in that episode?
I've still not seen the show.
With their combined gaming skills and wit, they eventually discovered the controller of power within a secret dungeon. It glowed with a brilliant light, and as they touched it, they felt a surge of energy coursing through their bodies. Chapter 3, Journey to the Comic Book Universe.
This is an allegory for the actual sex, though. Just like we touched it and there was a
Oh, yeah.
surge in our bodies. This is like Fast and Furious, where there's so much like gay undertones to it so far. But all right, we're in the comic book universe now. Kirkland's
book,
an
yeah.
expert, so he's going to take us all
Yes.
through it.
Their next destination was a world torn from the pages of a comic book. In this colorful dimension, heroes and villains soared through the skies, battling epic battles. The trio met iconic characters like Spider-Man and Wonder Woman, and even shared a podcast interview with Superman himself.
So we got
Superman.
to interview Superman. Not my first choice, but cool.
Yeah.
You know?
I have all the Spidey gear. Really? Can't get Spidey?
Is he done fighting yet? No. Okay. What's up, Clark?
Here, I'm gonna send you your line, and you got to read it out when I stop here, Kirkland. Kirkland, the
Okay.
comic book aficionado, was in his element.
I never thought I'd see Gotham City and Metropolis in real life.
Why would you? Why would you think that?
Their quest led them to the Inkwell of Imagination, an ancient artifact said to grant the power of creation. To obtain it, they had to participate in a crossover event, joining forces with various superheroes. to
Oh,
thwart
it's a big
cosmic
orgy
threat.
now. Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, with their wits and newfound abilities, they defeated the cosmic menace, earning their respect and gratitude of the comic book heroes. In return, they were presented with the Inkwell of Imagination, a quill that could bring their wildest ideas to life. All right, into the cinematic
Two
universe.
cocks.
Solo blowjob.
No
The-
bones.
The final artifact, the Reel of Reality. That's a cool term.
Shit.
Awaited them in a dimension filled with blockbuster movie magic. They found themselves in a place where iconic film characters roamed freely, from Jedi Knights to Hogwarts wizards. Holy shit.
Jeez, this is one expensive ass. This is Ready
Yeah.
Player One, but
This is our final movie.
This is how we
Yeah.
get sued out the ass.
Taylor, the tech guru, couldn't help but marvel at the advanced movie-making technology. I'd give anything to bring some of this back to our world.
What? He's the tech guy. He wasn't the movie guy. Why can't I get that line? ChatGPT knows. I know nothing. I
You're
just
so
say stuff and
basic.
read. God damn.
Their quest to the cinematic
No one's
universe
buying my
involved-
action figure.
involved assisting famous directors in creating their next blockbuster hits. That's what we had to do. Oh my God.
What a journey! Before you get the real reality, you have to help Spielberg, Cameron with their next.
We gotta
movies.
finish Avatar 9.
Yeah, we're there for decades.
They pitched ideas, acted in scenes, and even helped with special effects. Their dedication to the craft impressed the filmmakers, and they were rewarded with the reel of reality.
Oh, okay, it made sense. Yeah, I thought it was just
So-
like a side quest we decided to take on. Like, let's just
Yeah.
help them out so we get the real. Yeah. Okay.
Cosmic convergence. With all three artifacts in their possession, the trio returned to their basement studio, ready to unlock the power of the cosmic convergence. The room crackled with anticipation as they placed the artifacts on the table. Kirkland held the inkwell of imagination, Travis the controller of power, and Taylor the reel of reality.
Fuck off.
As they activated the
Like,
artifacts.
out of all of them, I get the one I shouldn't. The video game one, not the comic book, not the film stuff.
You get the vibrator.
Yeah. What I do with this?
As they activated the artifacts, a blinding light engulfed them, and the boundaries between dimensions blurred. Suddenly, they found themselves floating in a cosmic void surrounded by swirling galaxies. The artifacts combined, unleashing a wave of energy that rippled through the multiverse. The trio had become the guardians of the cosmic convergence, responsible for maintaining balance and harmony.
I don't want that life.
Yeah, you got a family.
Kids to home. I don't want to just be the guardians of the cosmic.
It's a very dark
Convergence.
ending.
Their podcast GeekVerse took on a whole new dimension as they shared their adventures and knowledge with listeners across the multiverse. They had become legends in the realms of geekdom, with countless fans eagerly awaiting their next cosmic journey.
But never see our families ever
No,
again.
no.
We're
It's
locked
gone.
somewhere in a podcast forever. So we're like the most famous podcast because our podcast is through the multiverse, but we never see anyone ever again.
Just
except
picture
for
us like the
three.
Red Skull, just floating there,
Yeah,
like just
on
wanting to be
Vormir.
done with this. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Avatar 9, boys.
And so Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland continued to explore the wonders of the multiverse, podcasting their way through the dimensions, and ensuring that the Geekverse remained a place of infinite excitement and adventure. There you go.
Did you ask for an end credit?
I will
You
now.
gotta ask for an end credit because I just love to see what it would do. It'll just be like they were happy to be away from their family. Podcast room in the void. Yeah, no, that's good. I like the idea. We'd have to take out all the IP, but that's not a bad idea there.
We could make them like original characters.
Yeah, or
Super-
GeekVerse
super
characters,
dad.
like Han
Yeah.
Solo in there.
Exactly.
Couple of them,
Okay. As the screen fades to black, the audience
Always.
begins to shuffle out of the theater. So this is now fanfics turn into a theatrical movie.
I love that they have to add this. Like they were getting restless and they had to go to their cars. Don't add that little bit.
The credits roll, accompanied by a hauntingly eerie soundtrack. However, for those who remain seated, there's something more to discover in this end credit scene. The camera slowly zooms in on an empty, dimly lit room, illuminated only by a flickering fluorescent light above. The walls are covered in peeling wallpaper, and the air is filled with a suffocating sense of dread. Whoa.
Jesus.
In the center of the room, a wooden chair stands ominously.
fuck. This is Dylan.
Strapped to it is a figure in tattered clothing, their face obscured by shadows.
It is Dylan for sure.
The camera moves closer, revealing that the person is unconscious, their head hanging low. Suddenly, a sinister voice whispering Suddenly, a sinister whispering voice echoes through the room, sending shivers down the spine of anyone still watching. The voice speaks in a language that is both ancient and malevolent, as if invoking dark forces. As the voice continues its eerie incantation, the figure in the chair slowly awakens, their head lifting to reveal eyes filled with terror. They struggle against their restraints, but it's futile. The room seems to tighten its grip on them, as if it were a living, malevolent entity.
What's going on?
The camera cuts to the figure's trembling hands, where a small ornate box sits. The box is adorned with mysterious symbols and seems to radiate an otherworldly energy. With trembling fingers, the figure opens the box, revealing a grotesque and ancient artifact within. A twisted, pulsating heart still faintly beating.
What did we do?
I thought it was a happy ending to our movie. What is going on here?
The room begins to tremble and the walls crack as if the very fabric of reality is tearing apart. The figure's agonized screams are drowned out by the cacophonous sounds of a nightmarish dimension breaking through.
Jesus. This went from like a family adventure movie to like fucking Freddy Krueger's here. Keep going.
Just as the room is about to collapse in the chaos, the screen cuts to black, leaving the audience with a chilling sense of unease. Sinister voice lingers in their ears. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Quick.
It's got to be Dylan.
Right.
Yeah,
Ask it
it's
for a
gotta be
sequel quickly, and we'll do that. Then we'll go to news here. Just quick. I want to see if it picks up on any of that. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some Batman news. Talk about some Authority news, which I'm sure.
Forgot we had
Taya's gonna-
topics.
Yeah, you know. Luckily, we've had topics, but if the strike keeps going on, you know, soon you will get just all ChatGPT episodes. But this was too good to pass up on.
Us
So
as well, not just ChatGPT replacing us.
yeah, literally the whole shebang. So.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm glad that it knows us. You know, that shows
That was
we
a
have some
surprise.
sort of digital footprint out there. You know,
It's a little
so
scary. I was scared what it was gonna do, especially just considering all the sexual innuendos that were
but not this
foreseen.
night.
Yeah, not this night.
Oh no,
Pulsating. Oh no.
Oh no, what's going on? Give it to us.
This is crazy. Holy
Okay.
shit. So we were right in some of our speculations. It's titled The Malevolent Pact.
Oh, that's a fucking banger.
Really
title.
good titles. Yeah.
Like, what is the legality of this? Because we should steal these ideas and use them. There are podcasts, and then twist them and
Yeah.
turn them. But fuck, that's good. Go ahead.
So in the dimly lit room, dimly lit Forsaken room where the end
so
credit scene had left off.
Wow, we pick right up. That's cool. I
It
like
picks,
that.
picks right up, yeah. The room's oppressive atmosphere seems to hold its breath, waiting for the inevitable. Then a soft, eerie chuckle reverberates through the air. Dylan, the man who had been strapped to the ominous chair, regains consciousness. Panic and confusion flood his eyes as he looks around the nightmarish room, memories of his ordeal flooding back.
So that's what.
That's why he was away for the podcast for a little bit. He was strapped to this chair.
you got to screenshot these and we got to read these on air again with Dylan because I
Yeah.
want to know why ChatGPT decided to take Dylan out of the equation and save him for the end credit. Like out of the three,
don't know.
I just want to know why. Oh my god, that's so good.
God loves me. Resurgence. So, suddenly, excuse me, the sinister voice returns. Its whisper is more malicious and hypnotic than ever. It seems to echo from within Dylan's own mind. The ancient language, once foreign, now feels strangely familiar, as if it's being etched into the very fabric of his being. Dylan's trembling hands, still restrained by the sinister straps, reach for the grotesque pulsating heart within the ornate box.
Still sex stuff.
It's got to be
going
the heart from Dishonored. That's what it must be from Arcane. There you go. Arcane Retro.
Which also, why did they not reveal Dylan in the end credit of the first movie? They just let him as like he was.
You
like,
see his
against
fingers.
face. Yeah, and then the second one, like, oh yeah, that was Dylan. Like, wouldn't the hype thing be to reveal Dylan at the end of the first one, and then? But I digress.
The artifact pulses in response to his touch, and a grotesque smile spreads across his face. He understands now. He is no longer a victim. He becomes an instrument of darkness.
Oh no!
The room shakes violently, and the walls crack further as the malevolent forces Dylan has unwittingly unleashed surge forth. Shadows morph into nightmarish shapes, and the room's dimensions distort as it becomes a gateway to a realm beyond comprehension. Dylan's transformation is complete. He is no longer the man who is bound to the chair. He is a harbinger of chaos, a servant,
Oh!
a servant to the ancient malevolent entity that sought to break free. With newfound power coursing through him, he is determined to complete the dark pact. Outside the room, the world remains oblivious to the unfolding horror.
Yeah.
The malevolent pact's influence begins to spread, its tendrils reaching out to those susceptible to its dark allure.
Good thing we're
Cut
with our
to-
families.
Yeah. Cut to a chilling shot of Dylan, now clad in eerie, otherworldly garb, standing at the precipice of an abyssal void.
Assless chaps.
Cheeks flapping in the wind.
His malevolent laughter joins the cacophonous symphony of chaos, and the screen fades to black.
Jesus. That's
you
the
go.
movie?
That was the sequel.
That was the sequel. That's all it gave me.
Wow! It was just an origin movie.
Yeah. As the credits roll, the audience is left with a sense of foreboding, knowing that the world is about to descend into darkness.
Give me one more. Give me one more,
Dylan's
because
resurgence is the beginning.
where we need a conclusion of what happens to us in the story.
We're just podcasting. We're podcasting to the multiverse.
I love that the second movie is literally just a whole villain setup movie and doesn't do much. He's in the room, he gets out,
This is what would have happened if Dylan never came back to us. If he never rejoined the
right.
podcast.
I'm asking, what happens to Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland, a follow-up to Dylan's resurgence?
Yeah. Death.
The Shadows of Redemption, the return of Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland.
Yes.
I guess it is a return because we weren't in the fucking second movie. We were this.
What a plot twist, though. If you don't have like the main characters from the first movie in your sequel.
No. Jeez.
Okay. Excuse me. In the wake of Dylan's resurgence and the malevolent pact, the world is plunged into darkness. Chaos reigns as the malevolent forces unleashed threaten to consume everything. But there is still hope, a flicker of light in the abyss, and it rests with the once innocent trio, Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland.
What did we do? I thought we did it for all the right reasons.
Well, I think they're saying because the chaos has spread, probably like maybe it got to us or something, right? Like we've been affected by this chaos. We were once innocent, but
I don't know. Maybe. Dylan,
Thought we
now
were
a
born here.
sinister puppet of the malevolent entity, begins his reign of terror. He uses his newfound dark powers to sow discord and despair, and the world trembles under his malevolent influence. But deep within, a fragment of his former self yearns for redemption.
Nice.
Taylor, the tech-savvy member of the trio, becomes determined to save their former friend from the clutches of darkness. Armed with his
Taylor's the main character here. I see that.
Apparently.
That guy.
Armed with his technical prowess, he delves into ancient texts and forbidden knowledge, seeking a way to break the malevolent pact that binds
texts.
Dylan. Travis, ever the optimist,
Oh, that's not true.
embarks on a journey to seek allies among the realms they visited during their cosmic adventures.
You're like
He believes-
Gandalf. You're going to get the right hero.
I'll say I could be a recruiter. I recruit a lot of GA, so I'll take that
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
Ever optimist, I don't know about that. I think I'm pretty pessimistic, but
He believes that their podcasting connections across the dimensions can form an alliance to stand against the looming threat.
Come on, Lincoln.
The next
Mario.
movie's going to have like Chris pop in.
Kirkland, the comic book enthusiast, discovers prophecies and legends hidden within the pages of forgotten comic books.
This is the first edition.
I was gonna say they have, but wasn't he the comic book expert? So they've bumped him down to enthusiast now.
Let me back scroll here and see.
That's about the GA shows
He
up like
was,
portals
yeah.
and Endgame.
Yeah. On your left.
Yeah. So see, you were in the first movie, you were an expert, but now you're just an enthusiast, Kirkland. So something happened in that second movie.
I was
you
focusing on podcasting too
Yeah.
much, I guess.
lost.
He uncovers stories of heroes who once faced similar dark forces and triumphed, giving them hope and guidance needed for their perilous quest. Together, Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland traverse the various dimensions they've encountered, seeking artifacts, knowledge, and allies that can aid them in their mission to rescue
This is
Dylan.
Endgame. It literally is Endgame.
Yeah.
Because we're going across multiverse. Yeah.
Along the way, they encounter iconic characters and face challenges that test their bonds and resolve. As they progress in their quest, Dylan's struggle against the malevolent entity intensifies. The remnants of his humanity spark a rebellion within him, but the malevolent force is relentless, determined to retain its hold. In a climactic showdown, Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland and their newfound allies confront Dylan and the malevolent entity in a cosmic battle of light versus darkness. The fate of not only their friend, but also the multiverse hangs in the balance. The
Shout
battle
out to
rages on.
Dylan, who the power level, he's just taking us in like Spider-Man, like he's taking on all these heroes, It's not even him in the army. So.
And internal struggle amongst all of this.
Is he going to make it or is he going to die in the battle?
I'm scared.
I know.
The battle rages on with dazzling displays of power and heart-wrenching sacrifices. Oh, God.
Fuck.
Ultimately,
Clark.
the trio's unwavering friendship and determination weaken the malevolent entity's grip on Dylan. In a final act of redemption, Dylan sacrifices himself to save the multiverse. from destruction.
I knew it. Oh, damn it. Damn it.
With the malevolent force
Damn
defeated,
them now.
the world begins to heal. The trio returns to their podcast.
Yes.
Now Now with tales of heroism and redemption to share with our listeners across the dimensions.
You're like Will Turner coming to see for your decade away from your family, and then you have to go back to podcasting in the cosmic realm.
I go back on the Dutchman podcast.
The scars of their journey remain, but so does the hope that even in the darkest of times, light can prevail. The Shadows of Redemption concludes with Taylor, Travis, and Kirkland standing together stronger than ever, ready to face whatever cosmic challenges the multiverse may throw their way. The world may have been forever changed by Dylan's resurgence, but it is their unwavering friendship and newfound knowledge that will guide them towards a brighter future. Oh, man.
Damn.
Shit. You're a hero, Dylan.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. R.I.P. Dylan. You know, you laid down the line, laid it on the line for all of us, man. What a
And that was the
journey
third movie. That
Yeah.
wow.
That was our Avengers Endgame. Yeah.
Taylor, you screenshot these and make sure at some point we ask all these questions again, because I want to get to a fourth one, but I don't want to now because we'll go down a rabbit hole. But I want to know where we go. This might be the next bread and butter originals, because man, I want to know,
Just
like,
an hour almost.
yeah, I know. I want to know if it pulls from anybody else, any listener, because I feel like we say S Bubs enough. I wonder if we could ever. I don't know what it's pulling from, but it pulled from us. So, and I'm just curious of what happens. I guarantee you, we won't do now, but I guarantee you, in the fourth one, it might be a shadowy figure, and it's like, and it's Dylan. Like he'll be back probably, because that always happens somehow. So, remember we did the whole Lord of the Rings without Aragorn, and then the end credit was like Aragorn returned. I was like, what? That wasn't the point, but
He was there all along.
yeah. All right. Let's take an ad break and we'll get into some actual news. We'll be right back. And we're back. So we'll get into some of this stuff a bit quicker nowadays. So, yeah, we're going to do some DC stuff first. So, there's a scooper that is about like C+. We've kind of talked about them before, My Time to Shine. You know, track record's good sometimes, not so good, who knows. But they have been putting out recently that they've heard that, I don't know if it is Robin per se or Dick Grayson or just Dick Grayson, but the idea going around that Dick Grayson might be in the part 2. We know about the Clayface stuff. They kind of said that's still happening. We don't know what version, but the idea that Dick Grayson will be 13 years old. So I'm going to pose the question to you, Kirkland, first, as far as, because I feel like myself, I'm a little torn, where I thought we talked about many times, you know, James Gunn comes out, gives this whole DCU chapter. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. And to me, at least to me, and I think us, it made sense. Maybe not. Maybe your opinion's changed. Maybe you go, oh, I'm down with this. But the idea, I thought, working idea was, hey, Matt Reeves is going to do his solo Batman. And that's like a younger Batman, year 2, year 3. And he's by himself. And then the DCU Batman, well, you got him and Robin. It's an older Batman. So, yes, of course, it's 2 Batmans. And, of course, visually, they're going to look different. But already you see, oh, that's the Batman with Robin. And then that's the Batman by himself. But one, I'd ask you, how do you feel about that as far as just overall, like, if that were to happen, if you get 2 Batman movies, the next 2 Batman movies is Batman with a Robin. And then also, do you feel that like Robin is a character you even want in the Batman universe?
I'll answer that last question first. I feel like definitely yes. I want to have that. I feel like if coming off of my first viewing of the Batman, I probably wouldn't be saying that, but I don't know, just picturing like that tone with the tone of the Matt Reeves Batman movie with I don't know, just throwing in a dynamic of a 13-year-old like Robin factor to like Batman in that situation, Bruce Wayne. I just feel like I really trust that like Matt Reeves to be able to handle that very well, especially with just the quality of younger actors that we have nowadays. Like even if he's supposed to be 13, I feel like you could easily have like a 16 or something. Yeah, like fit that role.
16.
I don't know. I just feel like kids these days just look so young that it's tough. Like
but usually nowadays they'll get those young kids because all these kids are great actors now, right? So they'll find some 13-year-old that can act his ass off, you know?
Yeah. So I feel like the acting wise, I'm not worried that if we have a 13-year-old here, it's not going to feel like a completely different movie. Like it's not going to feel like a more, I don't know, movie for that audience. Even though I feel like what are the movies even rated PG-13 or
for
something?
the Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's PG-13.
14A or whatever the Canadian equivalent is. So yeah, I think that's a really interesting concept. I feel though if we get them or not, it doesn't really change my overall excitement for the movie. I'm I'm gonna love it. I love that first movie so much. It's so well done. The more I watch it, the more I love it. So yeah, I completely trust it in that sense. I feel like having two separate Batman though with two separate Robin, I like right now I feel like it's not really a great idea, but if it's happening, it's like, okay, let's see what happens here. And I do hope that it is a different feel for the two. It's not like one's, I don't know. I don't want to have like
There
a
would
copycat
be.
situation where it's like, oh, they're
Yeah.
really trying to do what, because like we always have those comparisons, even if we just get like a new Joker, right? Like the
Yeah.
actor or the fans are always comparing the actors and what they're gonna do. I mean, they do that for Batman as well, so it'll just
And
be.
remember the DCU Batman, that Robin's gonna be his son. So there's a difference there, but also like the son comes from the League of Shadows where they're violent. He's raised to kill and stuff. So Dick Grayson and Damian alone are two very separate characters at least.
Yeah, and I just feel like that that type of Robin is what I also pictured in the Matt Reeves one. But who knows? Maybe he has a great idea for just a completely different idea of that character that I'm not even aware of. I'm not super well read on all the unlike my ChatGPT Kirkland Patzer. I'm not that well read in comics. I'm not the comics books expert. I'm more of the enthusiast maybe that I am in the later film. But so yeah, I don't really know what they could pull from source material wise, but I completely trust the team if they're saying they have a good idea for a Batman Robin movie, then I completely trust them.
What about you, Taylor? Same two questions. One, is it a conflicting thing to have two Batman movies with a Robin? And two, is that just something you want in this universe? Are you ready for Pattinson to, right away be teamed up? He obviously got his own solo movie already, but
I don't think Pattinson needs Robin yet. I mean, how long has he been in the game for? Isn't it like 2 years?
2 years.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's still too soon. Like, there's not enough development with Batman as a character alone. Like, you're telling me we're gonna get his sidekick in the next movie, and we have only had one solo film with Bruce Wayne to really explore him as an individual, him dealing with things. Like, he's only just met Selena Kyle. He has not faced, to our knowledge, characters like the Joker or any of these other.
Well, he's faced Joker. Remember the deleted scene? They insinuate that they've had some
The
interaction.
deleted scene doesn't count, though, does it?
I know,
It's
but
not part of it.
he's in jail though, right? So I'm insinuating that at least Batman put Joker in jail. I would think.
True, but then again, we haven't seen that dynamic or anything, so that's definitely a takeaway for me. I feel like if you add another character on the good side, like as a teammate, it just pulls away from more alone time that I feel we need with Pattinson's Batman. I want at least one more solo film with some new villains and just really taking advantage of the trauma that he's going to be going through. Because I feel like, again, we didn't even get much going on with him and his parents, I feel like. And it's been a while since I've seen it, but I feel like we need a little bit more like of him being like, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
The whole movie's like a plot against his parents. Remember, they revealed that his mom was in Arkham and his dad was like with Falcone. And,
Let's get more into that then. Let's.
They did it. It was called the Batman. They got into it all.
Get more into it. Him dealing with like just ChatGPT generate more and more and more.
Sequel.
They killed Falcone. Remember, he got shot. John Turturro. He got shot in the streets. And
Yeah.
we're
I
not
need
gonna get
to
that.
see the pearls.
No, we don't
Yeah.
need to see the pearls ever again for a while.
That's the start of the movie. dimly lit alley.
Yeah, pearls. Oh, jeez.
Well, what Superbad Mike says, I could get on board with that. Like part 2, and with him adopting Dick Grayson,
You know what,
or
Mike?
like segue into it.
It's not your fucking podcast. Wait for me to talk, because I was going to say that exact same thing. God damn it. But no, to be honest, and here's where, like, because I can take over. We'll circle back to Taylor in a second for the DCU thing. Mike says, and he's right. In the comics, Batman and Robin team up pretty early, because it's like issue 17, but you got to remember at that time, issues come out like every month or even more than that. So I think I can't remember how long it had been, but still it's early in the career. It's just tough because there's later renditions where he does go for a while and then Robin comes in. And it's also tough too because like I get it and Mike's completely right and people else have said that too, but it's also that we don't have to adapt that, right? Like look at the way Batman looked. At some point he used to run around with a gun. So that's why when people go, oh, well, that's how he originally was. It's like, yeah, but there's been so many versions now. For me, I'm in that camp of like, I feel like it's way too early. Not even talking about the DCU stuff. We'll get to that in a second, but like, This is where, in a perfect world, I don't think it's going to happen. I wish we would get the Matt Reeves solo trilogy, and then they would just get Warner Bros. Would throw a bunch of money at them, and then they do another trilogy, and that's when you do Robin. But I agree that I think if Dick is in this, it would be just as Dick Grayson. I don't think it would be Robin in this movie. I think that, and maybe it sets up because people have said there's been rumors that they're kind of doing like a No Man's Land storyline, and that happened at the end of the movie where the what was it, the flooding happened, and in No Man's Land what happens, it's an earthquake. But I've said this before, it's one of my favorite runs as Gotham gets divided and all the bad guys, like, this is the Joker's territory and this is Two-Face territory. I could see if you're leading into that, because there is something of like, you have Joker, right? And in the Batman, he's like saying he wants to be friends with the Riddler. And then you got new villains being rumored. If Batman 3 or the Batman Part 3 is Batman versus a bunch of villains, it does make sense to bring in Robin, because then you have, hey, Penguin, Joker, Two-Face, Clayface, Riddler, maybe even Catwoman on the bad guy side. If not, she's on the good guy side. If you got a roster of bad guys, you got Gordon, Catwoman, Batman, and Robin's another one. So I could see it. And it's completely my bias. I just thought this would just be Pattinson for 3 movies. I didn't foresee a Robin coming in, and I think my only, not so much worry, is I just really want them in Part 2 to dive into him creating like the fake Bruce Wayne personality. So I just worry of like, if you have that and you have him adopt a Robin, is that going to take away from that? Because again, I still say it's like the Michael Keaton thing. This Bruce Wayne, if anyone sees him in the streets, they're going to think this guy's fucking Batman because he's a weirdo. So he has to like go in public and not be a weirdo. Does he do that as a cover? Does he like, I don't know, adopt a kid to like make him seem more normal or something? Yeah. I don't know. And even then, out of all the Batmans, and I think that's what does make it at least intriguing, I could not see a Robin with this. It's tough because there's so much. Remember the Batman, there's that kid that he's trying to help the whole time, right? The mayor's son. But at the same time, I just think that this Batman's so fucked up that he'd have no knowledge to parlay right now. Like, I do not think he's in the mindset to take on a 13-year-old, be like, let me show you the ropes and everything, Like,
Alfred would be very concerned.
Yes, 100. Like, I think Alfred, but then is that just a great story? Then that you got drama between Alfred and Batman. You got drama with the kid. Like this idea that Bruce has in his head that he's gonna adopt this kid, and Alfred's like, no, you can't adopt this kid. Yeah, no. Like, and then when he starts training him to fight, so yeah, maybe I could see a vision there.
He's kicking the shit out of this 13-year-old kid in the back cave.
So, yeah, and then Taylor, where do you feel about for the 2 movies having them then, like the 2 different Batman franchises? Do you think that's a conflict of interest, or do you think they could get away with it with some time, space, different actors, etc.?
I think you could get away with it. I'm kind of at a point now where we're getting multiples of heroes on the big screen at this time, and it's not bothering me. Maybe if you go back like 20 years, maybe the GA wouldn't be able to handle it, but I think we can handle it now. I think most people are aware, like, oh yeah, we have George Clooney, we have Michael Keaton, we have Ben Affleck, and we have Pattinson. Like, we got 4 Batmen within the last 3 years.
Missing one.
Am I? That's been on the big screen.
Who did he say?
Did you mention Bale?
Within the last 4 years?
Oh, okay.
What multiverse is Kirkland from? Comic book enthusiast.
Oh, you said... Okay, never mind. I forgot about Clooney. Okay, you got me.
Fucking Clooney. But if you look at Ben Affleck, Justice League Batman, Keaton's the time traveling one, including, and then Pattinson, that's where the DCU one would be. That's very... You can tell a difference, but the story could be similar. They make a difference, but on paper, if you see a poster and both of them have Batman and Robin, they look like they're could be covering similar things, right? And that's my wonder of, not that they can tell them apart. It's just like, does the Batman Part 2, which is supposed to come out first, that comes out and has Robin in it, and let's say he is Robin. Do they see that? They like that, and then they see the DCU one and like, I just saw a Batman movie with Robin, and nothing's guaranteed. Because look at the fucking Flash. I thought for sure, Batman the Flash, like Keaton's back, like that will get them in, and it didn't. So like, there's a risk of people going, I know that it's different. I've just seen this already, and I liked it, and I don't need to see another version.
Yeah, that's true. And I didn't even think about that when you see like 2 posters. Be like, oh, this is a cool poster. Be like, oh, that's for an entirely different movie, but it's the same thing. So you could definitely confuse the general audience in that regard.
Yeah, so I'm in the camp where we already talked about the Robin stuff, that I still prefer the solo Batman just overall because I want more time with him, and we're gonna get the Robin Batman team up, so do that. But I'm down. I trust Matt Reeves. The Batman's fantastic, so I trust him if that's the route we're gonna go. And then, like I said, I do think there is some worry there. Who knows? Fucking Superman Legacy could bomb, and maybe we'll never get any of this stuff. But the way Warner Brothers is operating right now, all their money lost. But I think if they just then have to make it really distinct and different. I still think that the DC one has to be very colorful, a big adventure, and I think Muschietti will do that. The sun aspect is a little bit different too. So I think it just makes it that much harder to me to do if you're both having Batman and Robin together. You have to really make it stand out and really make it different, and you got to get, I don't know. I think I'm in the camp now with, because obviously with Superman we got a no name, but I think if you are doing another Batman and Robin, I don't think you can get a no name Batman actor. I think they got to go for a name then, because they have to make it that, oh, I want to see this person as Batman if it's very similar, because it's not Batman and Robin, it's I want to see fucking, I don't know, John Hamm as Batman. It won't be him, but something like that.
Very
so
cool.
Barry Keoghan, who's the Joker and Batman. That's crazy.
Well, different universe, right?
Yeah,
It'd
let's
be-
roll. Yeah.
DCU.
Make him bag that guy. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Josh
but-
Brolin wrote.
Hell yes. Yeah.
Just milking all the cash cows.
Hey, Josh Brolin, he auditioned or talked to Zach about BVS. He was one of the choices, and I can't remember if he turned it down or it didn't work out with the scheduling. But yeah, it was him, Orlando Bloom, Ryan Gosling, and then Ben Affleck. Those were the four back in the day that were all talked about for.
Very different.
Yeah,
Very different
Orlando
tiers.
Bloom as Batman would have been something. I'm happy that didn't happen. I think that's a good multiverse not to go down.
They're
But,
taking your mother to Isengard.
but maybe he will. Maybe he gets a shot at Brave and the Bull. Which, speaking of, everyone join the Discord. Lots of fun in there. Kirkland, did you see the meme I linked you in the Discord with Legolas?
I saw it at work and it
good
was a minute
meme.
long, and I'm like, I
Okay.
don't have headphones
Don't
right
watch
now.
it now, but it's
Okay.
good. It's good
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah,
I'll
everyone,
watch.
let us know about what you think about this Batman situation. So, oh god, I feel like we've all coughed a bunch tonight. Anyway, so I want to read off this list. This came out last week from a scooper that I'd say is. I'm not trying to be mean. I love
Ooh.
no. I love John Roca. John Roca, literally last year, he kindness of his heart hosted the Marvel panel for the trivia, so that was great. I'm just saying that he's not a known scooper. He has sources, and he even said that this scoop that he is talking to, the person was like 60% right of the time. So even he's saying like this is not like a full-on thing, but this is what something people ran with, and who knows what the cast is. But so the authority. Obviously, we don't have much authority. Maybe the comic enthusiast does, but we don't have much authority of, I've never read that. Maybe there'll be a comic versions in the future that gets affiliated with it. But we've just had we read the synopsis, we read the idea, kind of know that it's a darker, almost like a Boys-esque in the Batman, very brutal. So we're like, okay, this is what's happening. So we don't have much to go off as far as what these characters are, but I want to lay this this rumored casting on you and again, we're not going to know like, oh, are these good characters stuff, just the idea of these actors. So according to the rumor, DC Studios has already found the cast for the upcoming movie. Here's how it goes. Keira Knightley will be playing Jenny Sparks. Again, we're not breaking down who these characters are because I don't fucking know. It's just the cast overall. Alexander Skarsgård as Apollo, Sam Worthington as Midnighter. And remember, Apollo and Midnight, those are the guys that are like Superman and Batman, but they're a couple. So you'd have Sam and Skarsgård getting on. Kiki Palmer as the engineer. Riz Ahmed as the doctor. Gerard Butler as Jack Harksmore. And the rumor is Ken Watanabe.
Sorry, that's just such a Gerard Butler character name. What was
Hawk
it? Jack?
Osmore.
Yeah.
It was Jack Hawksmore.
Yeah, that's like Angel Has Fallen. What are all
Yes.
those movies? Olympus Has Fallen. Like that's
Yeah.
probably his character's name.
And then the villain, Kazan Gamera, would be played by Ken Watanabe. The same rumor also claims that the movie will be directed by Matthew Vaughn, who did X-Men First Class and The Kingsman, and written by Drew Goddard. I am going to say, and this is what I mean in all due respect, talk to him on Vlog Stream, on GeekVerse, great. I won't say John's lying or wrong. I just think the source is wrong. I don't believe this for a second. I think, especially that line of like Drew Goddard and Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn may like, I don't know, because Matthew Vaughn, he's been dipping his toes in DC stuff before and gotten close. And Drew Goddard, he was in that writer's room that James Gunn did assemble. I just feel like it's a lot of, well, we've heard this, we've heard that, so let's put this rumor together. And the cast, to me, I know, like, because Taylor, it's probably not like Kate Beckinsale-worth, but I just feel like Keira Knightley's in that wheelhouse of that, like, genre.
Gerard
and
Butler. I feel like there's a lot of Taylor picks on that list.
That's, to me, that's what stands out as far as, like, I don't know. It's half and half because you got Keke Palmer. I hope this is untrue because I need her to be Rogue in X-Men. I don't know how old she is, so maybe she won't be. So if she can't be Rogue, then fine. You got her, Riz Ahmed, and Alexander. So those are people that are current actors. They're rising up right now. So okay, I can see that. But like Keira Knightley and Sam Worthington and Gerard Butler, like that's where the other half is like, these are stars from the 2000s. I'm not saying they can't be in them, but just to be, and I know it's like a different type of group. It's a more dark group, but just like, it just feels like someone went to IMDb and said, who were the biggest stars of the 2000s? And they got Keira Knightley, Gerard Butler, and Sam Worthington, you know? So, like, I like some of these people. Like, if this was true and on paper, like, I like them all. Like, I think Sam Worthington can be a little dry. But other than that, they're all great to good actors. Gerard Butler also is, like, a very mid actor. Like, I don't need him and stuff, but who knows what the character's
He's
like.
got his niche.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I need that niche
He's
over
a good
there.
Jack.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the writer-director combo sounds too good to be true, and that's why I don't believe it. It does sound too good to be true, in my opinion. It just feels like something's off there, but I'll start with you, because I was being a bit more raining down at that. Like I said, if it's true, then okay, sure, I'll give it a chance. I just feel like I just don't buy the list of this collection of people, and I also think my last point that all these people, they're not like A-tier actors, but I feel like you would get some people playing the other characters that aren't well-known actors. You know, like look at when already Nathan Fillion's playing a Green Lantern, but the guy he got for Mr. Terrific and the guy he got, or the girl he got for Hawkgirl, those weren't like known names. And I feel like as an ensemble, you're gonna have all these people who at one point have like led films. It just feels all around a little iffy. So one, Taylor, I'm gonna ask you, do you believe it? And then two, I'm just gonna ask you if it was real, how would you feel about this cast? Which I feel like I got a good inkling of how you're gonna feel about it.
I feel like at this point in the game, James Gunn is leading the charge and all this kind of stuff. He's helping the team manage and kind of fulfill this new adventure for DC. And
I feel like you're trying to nicely fire someone right now, like when they're the way you're walking around.
Come on in, have a seat. Need some water.
Performance has been an issue. It's great, but it's just lacking a little, but it's still great. It's still great.
I feel like he has some major say in this and that it could be real. And I feel like James Gunn...
Of course James Gunn has major say. He's the fucking president of the studio.
He's got some pull. He's got some pull over there at
I'm
DC.
segueing that into
What
why...
are you talking about?
segueing that into why these like
Let him
odd
finish.
bunch of actors and actresses are kind of been like handpicked for this, as opposed to like going to just a whole bunch of like new faces. I feel like it's because James Gunn... I'm paraphrasing, this is not factual, but like, hey, maybe he just watched Pirates of the Caribbean. And he's like, you know what, that Keira Knightley, let's get her in here. Or maybe he watched Pride and Prejudice. Like, you know what?
What is
I'm a
he
big
fucking...
fan. Let's get her in here.
Is he Michael Bolden from the Jack Sparrow skit? Like he just watched Jack Sparrow or Pirates like, yeah, let's go get Keira Knightley, you know?
That could be him. Yeah.
I would hope
he watched
not.
he watched Plane. Maybe he watched Olympus Has Fallen. You're like, oh, that's Gerard Butler or Law Abiding Citizen. Like, let's get him in here.
Okay, keep going. I want to know what did he watch to get Skarsgård? What made him excited to get Skarsgård?
Barbarian.
Okay.
Or is that the wrong Skarsgård?
No, that's the right one.
Okay.
Did you watch Barbarian yet?
Me?
Oh, it is the wrong Skarsgård. That's Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm glad I
Yeah.
confirmed.
You're talking about the Northman.
Oh, there you go. You watched The Northman. He's
Kirkland,
like,
you
oh,
were supposed to help you, bastard.
You watch
gotta
Straw
get
Dogs.
Skarsgård.
You watch Straw Dogs. Like, I want that asshole from Straw Dogs.
Okay, here's an easy one. Sam Worthington.
oh, Man on a Ledge. He's like, fuck this movie.
Not
Gotta get him
Avatar
in here.
2?
No. He's like, Man on a
Man
Ledge.
on a ledge. Oh yeah.
No CGI in here. This is the real deal.
I want to see if the title lives up to the name.
Okay. Keke Palmer.
I can't say to that one, actually.
What? You've seen her in
I'll-
two things. Two things you enjoyed big time.
What two things?
There's a movie last year that got nominated for Golden Geeks.
What's
So
the other
that's
one?
Nope. She was in Nope.
Oh, she was in Nope. Okay, yeah, that's what he watched. He's like,
And
holy
then
fuck.
remember, she started out in Scream Queens.
I don't remember that. It's been a long time since I've seen.
She was in
Queens.
Scream Queens. She was in the entire show.
I'll slap my wrist for Nope though, but Scream Queens.
So what do
I
you
don't
think it
remember
was? Do you
that.
think he watched Nope or Scream Queens?
He probably watched Nope and then went to
Oh.
go retroactively watch Scream Queens.
She's
This
so
actress.
fucking good.
Yeah.
I need all I can get.
What is she supposed to be? The engineer in that list?
As the engineer, yeah. Did you
Engineer.
search up the character? She's like a blue
No.
metallic sort of person.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Just don't like the
Fucking
name.
Kirkland with his Mr. Dr. Manhattan impersonation over there. No, I didn't. Just no emotion whatsoever. It's 1989. I'm on Mars. James Gunn has watched
My
Scream
big
Queens.
blue cock's just dripping right now.
Yeah, I'm going to find the Guardians of the Cosmic Universe or whatever the fuck they were called.
I
What
need
were
to-
we?
Save Dylan.
Cosmic
Yeah.
Convergence. Guardians of the Cosmic Convergence.
Write that down somewhere. We gotta name it. We gotta do a shirt. We gotta fucking do
Oh,
a shirt
yeah.
for
Oh,
sure. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah. We're gonna do. This is gonna be in a movie. Don't get you wrong. Okay. Two more. Riz Ahmed. Where did he see that from?
Riz Ahmed. I need to put a face to him. Oh, you
I-
watched Rogue One. He fucking
I knew
loved
it.
Rogue
I
One.
knew it. Yeah. Not Venom. The first Venom.
No, not
And he
not
played
a
Riot?
not a Marvel fan.
He played Riot, who Rihanna apparently just named her kid Riot. So that's
Big fan of the
choice.
movie. She was watching.
in labor, just seeing Riz Ahmed turn Riot. Like that's my son. All right. Finally, and I feel like there's only one answer to this for Taylor. Ken Watanabe.
Oh fuck! You watch Godzilla? I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
this is
Yeah.
great.
Let them fight.
That
Yeah.
death scene, Ken, legendary.
Okay, so obviously you're a fan. So you're a fan of it, obviously, and you actually think this could be legit. Do you think they're all legit, or do you think this is maybe like a mixed list where some are and some aren't?
I feel like if we could be on the cusp of getting like Taylor Swift and all these other like wacky like crossover character actors just popping into the MCU just to play these characters that I've never heard before, these heroes. I think that you could absolutely see DC pulling the same card, and James Gunn like, hey, let's get a wild roster of actors and actresses that have pretty good resumes. Well, of course, like they're not up to really anything like billion-dollar blockbuster films now. They have very
Sam
impressive
Worthington
resumes.
is. He was just an Avatar too.
That's true.
Best name on that list.
Yeah. But are people going to see Avatar? Like, oh, I can't wait to watch this
No.
Sam Worthington.
You could have been fucking Jake
love
Sully, and they would have went to
From
see it.
Man on the Ledge.
Yeah. Oh, because Keira Knightley, Alexander Skarsgård. No, like last time they saw him was in fucking Infinity Pool getting jerked off by Mia Goth. So I don't think they're seeing him in much. So, yeah. Kirkland, what about you? Do you like the list? And do you think it's true?
I like the list. I feel like it would be something that we would have like just fan casted ourselves on like a,
No,
a
you two
podcast
would
in
have
like
fan casted
in like
for
year
sure.
2. In like year 2 of the podcast,
Oh, yes.
like long time ago.
Even for
But-
Taylor? I think this is year 1. We should try to do that. We should do an authority fan casting before it gets official. I know nothing with characters, just read some synopsis. That's some strike content, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think the list is it is fun, but I don't believe it at all. I just feel I don't know, like maybe if they're doing first rounds of like ideas for actors for roles, I feel like that would be the list that they have, and then as they sift through it, realize that I don't know the budget on like a lot of these actors. I
Yeah,
feel like
this could be like the act. Like we want an actor like Keira Knightley.
Yeah,
like Keke
exactly.
Palmer. Yeah.
And I and if I'm wrong and they do want these specific people, I feel like that's just I just don't see that happening because I don't know. I think from their camp they'll want to maybe see the dangers of just having a big budget cast like this
Yeah, all
for
ready
like a
to
big
start.
team up. Yeah, like that could easily not make their money back, let alone
'Cause,
just
like, Taylor-
be received really well.
While Kirkland's talking, can you just pull up an image of the Authority and share it on screen? Because I feel like when we talked about them, they were like fucking costumed up, and they weren't looking like fucking cheap characters. Like they were
Just the fact you get like Sam Worthington and like Keke Palmer all together in the lineup with Keira Knightley, Gosh, what were the other ones on there? Gerard Butler,
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah, like I just feel like those alone, it's a wild list to me.
Oh God, is Gerard Butler the Hawksmoor guy? Or that's a woman? Okay.
Jack.
Fuck, I don't know. And can you click on a who's who?
The blue metallic mom. So that would be Kiki Palmer's character, right?
Yeah, the engineer. Yeah. Where'd we go?
Authority, roster. That's what we want.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Um,
Oh no, that's like let's go movie roster. Because don't click on every member of the Authority. We'll be here till 2028.
Keira Knightley as
No,
Jenny
that's what I
Sparks.
have. No,
That's what you got?
no. Go everything we know. Click on that one. Click on the Mary Sue, which I don't know if I want to give them click, but here we go. Okay, so go down. Let's see if we can see who these characters. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing this in reverse. Go back to Google. Go back to Google. Okay, put in the Authority and then just go Midnighter. We'll go one by one here. This is the easier way to find out who's who. So go Midnighter.
Midnighter.
Okay, so this would be who's this? So that's like probably the Batman equivalent, and that's Sam Worthington. So Sam Worthington would be the Batman equivalent. I was just
looking
waiting to
like
see.
Bale
right.
from yeah, he's looking like Bale from Thor.
Oh yeah, so
What's
I
his
think that's a
name?
mask at least. Gore. I don't
Gore,
think that's his
there you
face. Yeah. So I was just tracking to see if Sam Worthington was playing another CGI character. Okay, put in Apollo. This would be Skarsgård, and I imagine he's like blonde hair and stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
handsome. Yeah,
that's
he's got the
Skarsgård,
abs.
Yeah, he's got that. Okay, put in Jenny Sparks. Yeah, we know
Knightley.
Skarsgård. Yeah.
This is Knightley, right?
This is Knightley's character. So go to image. She's just
Okay.
like, can you click on a bigger image there?
Oh, she's
Just-
British, so that
Oh,
works.
fuck. See, this just feels like, we gotta get a British actress. Okay, so she's just a blonde with the
This is what I
Union
mean, though.
Jack on her.
Okay, Keira Knightley type for this role.
Yes.
Like that makes a lot more
Okay.
sense.
She's British and she's blonde. They really.
Someone that did Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah. No, this is it. This is our Jenny Sparks after watching that movie.
Okay, put in the engineer. That's the middle. This is and like with this character, do you think Kiki would actually be it or just like doing the voice?
She'd be doing
Oh.
it, like mocap or something.
Not that one, but like Taylor, click on the ones where she's like all metal. So do you think that is she sometimes metal? And then I wish Scott from DC's
What reboot
podcast
character is this?
Yeah, like I could see Kiki. I don't know. Maybe she
I
could
can't
play
see
it.
her. I can't see it. I feel like they would have to have a very. I don't know. I just can't see her being like the Nebula type situation, just
Yeah.
completely covered up
Cake
in
or in makeup, yeah.
But I could be wrong. I don't know why I feel that. It
But
totally
what I
is
was saying
reboot.
though, Kirkland,
It's
because
Bob.
there's some shots where she has skin, so I'm wondering if they would go with that version
okay.
of the metal on the body
Yeah.
and on the face and stuff. Okay, go the doctor. Go the doctor. This is for Riz Ahmed. He just looks like a Bill Nye or something. Okay, so yeah, that's
Okay.
just a guy with glasses. He literally looks like
Rogue One guy.
yeah, that's
feel
Matt
great.
Murdock right there. Okay, put in the villain, guys, in Gamora. I'm saving Gerard Butler because I want to know what fucking Jack Hawksmoor is.
How the fuck do you spell that?
Kaizen. Okay, there you go. No.
Guys, Gamora.
Guys, Gamora. You could get a really question. Oh, what's he doing? He's source code in there. You put guys in Gamora, you might get in trouble there.
Guys in
Yeah. Kaizen and then Gamora.
Holy fucking jeez Louise.
One word.
And this is Ken Watanabe. Okay, yeah. He's playing Ra's al Ghul. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Okay, finally. Put in Jack Hawksmoor. Moore is spelled Moor.
Jack?
Jack and
There we
then
go.
first name Jack. Yeah. Oh.
What is he doing?
That's a boring ass character. Click on that image.
What is
The-
this?
below this, below
It's
too.
fucking Steven
No,
Seagal. That's who this guy. Go to that one with the kick. Yeah. What's on
Okay,
his
yeah.
feet?
Okay, go to the all section. Go find go find his powers. Go back to the regular search. This is a wild cast. No. Just go hit all. No, we don't.
I
okay.
am. Just calm
Okay.
down. Jack
Hey,
can
don't tell me
communicate
to
with
calm down.
cities, buildings, and streets. Urban telepathy is the communicate with buildings and cities on a mental
Hey!
level.
What's your power? I can communicate with buildings and streets. This guy's fucking lame.
Gerard Butler's favorite character. He really wants to play him.
Oh, I guess he could play him. He's just a guy with dark hair and a blazer and white shirt. So, all right.
Not what I
Don't
thought. Like I thought he was gonna be like a Hawk character. You know, like
Yeah.
the powers never
Hawk's
don't
more?
really they don't really go with his powers. Spider-Man. What's that?
Superhuman agility, able to stick to walls, and are based on the classic urban superhero.
Oh, he
Spider-Man.
just stole his powers.
This guy is inspired by Spider-Man.
It's like the Twilight 50 Shades dilemma.
Yeah, no cool costume though. But all right, there you go. That's your Room Authority one. We'll find out once the strike is over, which is never gonna be a thing, I think. But oh god damn it, fuck you, StreamYard. Lost all my ad times now, the bastards. But let's hang on. I'll find a way to get it back.
45.
But, what? Yeah. Let's take our second ad break, and then we'll be right back. All right, now we're on to some trailers. So, Taylor Field, I'm going to give you the floor. Tell me about No One Will Save You, because I feel like I saw that. I'm like, oh, Taylor's going to be all over this. Coming out September. We got a couple movies coming out September 22nd, but coming out September 22nd on Hulu, so we'll get it on Disney+. So, yeah, what did you think about this one?
I honestly... I wish I didn't watch a trailer for this, because I would have loved to have gone into this blind. Because this... I have been searching... for a long time for a movie to rival Signs for me.
Even searching.
I've not found
The
it.
Dark
I really
Ones?
have not found
Is
it.
that what that movie was called? It's not Signs level, but I remember really liking that one.
Dark Ones, like the fourth kind, or
I'll
Dark
look it up.
Skies?
Dark Skies. I think it's what it was.
I can't
Let me
remember.
see.
I remember
Google.
about. I think I've seen it in a long time. So it's funny because I had a dream the other day or last night, where I was actually, it was like red and it looked like forest fires. When I pulled up my camera to zoom in, it actually was like this red circle, and I could see bodies being sucked up into it. And then all these things started appearing, and they're sucking people up and just abducting them. And
So just the guys
it
from
was-
Nope or whatever,
it was
the
fucked.
jean
It
jacket.
was- well, they were ships, and they were harvesting people, and so we had to
Jean
like
jacket.
live in these underground like sewage bunkers just to kind of hide away. We could go to the surface, but then
Wait.
the things would try to like suck us up.
Why was it specifically sewage bumpers?
Because
Or
we could,
bunkers.
well, we could hide underground, and they couldn't get us there. 'cause
They
they
can't
stayed in their
smell us through the
ships.
shit.
No. So
It's the Predator. It's the
aliens
Predator
lately.
strategy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I see this trailer and oh my god, I thought like, okay, the home invasions thing was cool. It's like, okay, we're gonna be getting just like a classic kind of like just a home invasion movie, something like
Classic.
what was the one called, like the safety room with I can't
Escape
remember her
Room.
name
Or
no, not
Panic Room.
escape
Panic Room.
Panic Room.
Panic
That
Room.
was with
Yeah. Kristen Stewart.
Yes, when she was
Yeah.
young, she gets backhanded in that movie. It's fucking
Jodie
crazy.
Foster too, right?
Jodie Foster,
Foster,
yeah.
yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be something like that, home invasion. The moment you see that little alien head just pop up at the stairs, it's like I was like, oh, and like
Looking
freaking
like Hunter
passed
over
out.
there, you know?
That was so freaking terrifying. And just the turn that it took, and just having the aliens, and just the scenes, like stuff that's running to a door and you can hear the acceleration that's pulled out of like a horror movie. That always kind of gets me really, really good. Like
He gets Madison to
paranormal
do that
stuff.
every night. What do you want me to do, baby? I'm going to hide behind the door, and I want you to run and stomp real loud. I'm under the bed. Get me. Come get me.
Gets me every time. Just so many different shots of this trailer are so freaking good. Yeah, like just the alien, like when it jumps on top of her bed, or when the door opens and it's standing in the doorway. I hope that we don't get a solid shot of this thing. I just want it to be peripheral vision. And the
We
fact
did
that
in the trailer though, didn't we?
at the
was like-
end, that looked like it was
Okay.
something completely different. I'm hoping it's just I want it to be brief in a dark setting, because the dark settings makes the CGI look better. Like Signs is great, but the one scene that always pulls me out of it is at the end when you see the CGI hand like shoot the gas, and it's like, oh, that's very CGI. Peripheral vision is the way to go. Really just toy with what we can see and interpret on screen. And I really like too when it's just the whole world effect by the looks of it. It's not just her house. And so when she's looking at all these other people that are just like tweaking out on the road, that's freaky. Her defending her home. I'm just getting major Signs vibes. It just looks like a freaking good time.
S Bubs, that's why you're the other guy in the chair. Because yes, S Bubs, I was going to bring this up to these guys because it's the funniest thing. Taylor Kirkland, can you click on the Discord link that S Bubs just shared and then share your screen? So for people that can't see, but what they did for 20th Century, they uploaded the trailer. They've deleted it now. They upload the trailer and they put a thumbnail with the actress. I can't remember her name, but she's great. I'll look it up in a second. But I know her from Justified and a bunch of other things. I really like her. I'm excited for this for her.
She's
but
good.
they put up a thumbnail of her running and then this creature from the movie behind her, and there's a red circle and it says, "What is this?" And it's like the shocked emoji. So they were like trying to get like a reaction trending, like and you don't got to pull it up, then it's fine because there you go. Yeah, so they put that on their own channel, like trying to make it look like some reaction, like clickbaity sort of thing. Caitlin Deaver, thank you very much. Yeah, first I saw her was in Justified. She was great. Like, oh man, and everyone wanted her as Ellie at one point. Didn't happen. She was rumored for the movie. It was her and somebody else. Can't remember, but it's like I'm not gonna be mad about it because it's like, oh, whatever, that was this I do, and I wonder if they kept it up, what it would have done. Like, I wonder what it would have been like, but they still deleted it. So I want to know the whole thought process of why they thought it was like why they wanted to do it. And I know why, but like them talking about it and then them putting up and why they wanted to delete it. Cause they're just like a company, but because at the same time, like this is a smaller movie. It's only on Hulu. So like, why not even keep it up as like a risk to get more eyes on it? Because that's our culture nowadays, right? It's something that we've done it before. I don't actively watch other people's reactions to these type of things because I just like, it's just not my type of content. But it is a big thing of content. But I got a good laugh. It's pretty interesting. But obviously they took it back not very quickly, 21 minutes pretty much. So
I can't believe that they did that. That's bonkers. That's really, really bonkers. It makes me feel like it was hacked or something like that.
Have you made the thumbnail yet, Taylor?
For this episode?
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I won't put it on you because it's more extra work, but next newscast, I want you to do this exact same thing. Whatever the main topic is, I want you to circle it and put what is this with the shocked emoji. Even if it's nothing. Even if it's literally just like Robert Pattinson standing in the middle of the screen. Just a
I'll do it. Remind me. I
will. But I'll forget. So we'll try to keep it in the notes. I'll put it in the notes for next newscast. I will. Yeah, I like the trailer. If this was in the theaters, I wouldn't go out and see it unless people were raving about it. But lots of stuff, we were talking about this in Discord, where fall is just fucking low. Like, look, we're talking about like 8 trailers right now. Like, it's all a mix of good, bad, and indifferent. But or ugly, but it's one where I'm like, okay, at home, I'll definitely watch this over the other movie that's coming out on the 22nd. So yeah, I'm all for this. If it was an actress I didn't care about, and not to be mean, but just like an actress I wasn't invested in, I probably wouldn't be, okay, I want to watch this, but it is. I'm hoping it's a good runtime. It reminded me also a lot of 10 Cloverfield Lane as far as the way she's like locking herself up and the rest of the world's affected. There was some different imagery from like alien stuff. And I get what you say, Taylor, but at the same time, without them showing that, they would have had to cut a really good trailer for us to care and to get on the radar for us to check it out, right? Like, I think they kind of have to show some of this stuff because they have to get us involved. But okay, they've done The Babysitter and Love and Monsters. Okay, I really like The Babysitter. S-Bubs, can you let me know, did they do The Babysitter 2 though? Because that'll be a big red flag. But so this is I don't know if there'll be a full review. I could see us like talking about this like on a newscast or something. But I was intrigued. I like the trailer, so I'll watch it. It's at home, so I'll put it on the list. So they wrote Underwater 2. Oh, Taylor, this is
Underwater.
This is up your alley.
Underwater has a lot of it's like a, what is it called, Lovecraft kind of attachment to it. So
what?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're saying the wrong word.
No, I'm pretty sure
Lovecraft?
it is. Yeah, it's got
like Cthulhu and all those.
Yeah, that's
things.
exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Am I screwing it up? What? I thought Lovecraft was like the Color of Purple or whatever that fuck. What was that movie? The Color
Out of
Beyond
Space.
Yeah, Color of Space. Isn't that Lovecraft?
That is as well, I think. Yeah.
But like, so how is there's no way that's Underwater?
I think it's
Lovecraft.
just like another
Underwater's-
story or something.
It is. Underwater is like, not spoiler, but it is connected to the like Cthulhu stuff.
Okay, I
So
guess the way I interpret it though is like, is the movie very trippy or is it just straightforward?
It's very straightforward.
Okay,
but
because
I
most
think
Lovecraft
that's
stuff I've seen is like Beyond Outer Space or Beyond Color Space, when it's like very visually, out there and stuff. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't look like that. It just looks like a random sci-fi monster movie. Like Lovecraft is that. I'm running out because I'm not. April really likes the genre. I always appreciate it. There was a good episode of Guillermo del Toro's like the whatever that's short film, whatever he did. So like that's interesting.
I was reading about that with Underwater because the directors, like when the project they thought got shelved after Disney bought Fox, they got the green light to keep working on it, and I think they like the idea of keeping it low key, like Lovecraftian, and not letting the audience really know that it was that, and just kind of go in and interpret it. So
Yeah, like another one, like Dylan and I talked about this, like In the Mouth of the Madness. Some people say Prometheus. I guess Underwater, Lighthouse. Like there you go, like Lighthouse. That'd be one. Reanimator for sure. The Thing. I wouldn't put. There's a lot of these I wouldn't. I guess it's debatable. I guess in my mind, I just have to broaden that because I took it as like of course, the first thing that does come up though is Color Out of Space, but like it's very visually crazy, like Annihilation. But okay, I might actually finally check out Underwater, Taylor. I might put that on the watch.
it's on Disney Plus.
Right,
Kristen
it is,
Stewart
yeah.
is fantastic in that movie.
Oh, she's great. Yeah. Kirk, what about you? You gonna be watching? Is someone gonna be watching No One Will Save You in your household?
Yeah, I feel like the trailer grew on me a lot as it went on. Well, maybe I should rephrase that. It had me in the first half, and then I kind of dipped, and then once I found and then it brought me back once I found out about the alien stuff. Yeah, I definitely had the signs, vibes. I mean that Taylor's name signifies, and I just feel like. Initially, I was really intrigued by the home invasion thing, and then it very much wasn't that. And then it's like, okay, is she the only person in this movie? That's kind of weird. But who knows? Maybe it's really interesting. I really like Caitlin Deaver, however you say her name. I saw her in Booksmart, and she was really great in that. So I was interested from just seeing her in it, and then once I found out it was like an alien movie, and just some of the shots later on in the trailer really had me, like the basically the Nazi zombies defense when she's batting down the hatches and everything. Like that seems like a really intense part of the movie. I'm a little bummed that they did show that creature, especially it's kind of funny that they even had that in the thumbnail initially for 21 minutes at least. But Taylor, I definitely had like Felucia flashbacks seeing Star Wars Battlefront 2, those, what are they called, the Ackleys?
The Ackleys, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw the alien. This one looked a lot smaller scale than what the Star Wars ones were, but yeah, I was a little bummed to see them there because I feel like you can build a lot of suspense and anticipation without actually seeing the creature, and the fact that we've already seen, it's not like a clear shot, it's just a silhouette chasing her, and maybe there's different types and shapes of these creatures that are invading. But I loved all of just the alien stuff because I feel like that's such a fun genre to have, the horror mixed with the alien stuff, which we had that last year, the Great Signs, and I feel like all of them I like enough. I mean, all the ones I've seen, there's probably some really bad horror alien movies out there, but yeah, like The Fourth Kind, Dark Skies, like I remember really those ones sticking with me, just the idea of aliens invading, and it's a lot more the horror scale versus the Mars Attacks thing, which is also scary, but that's a comedy as well.
I was just looking at, because Espos was answering my question about he's producing the Samara Weaving pop star movie, but that one's written by the Babysitter 2 and Cocaine Bear, which is not good because I did not enjoy Cocaine Bear as much as other people, other than the first 5 minutes, and then Babysitter 2 is a disappointment. I was just trying to see who the actor is who's obsessed with her. What the fuck is that movie called? Because she's in a lot. She has 8 projects coming up. Oh, I don't know. Espos, let me know what it is. Actually, Espos, if you just know who the actor is, because I thought it was somebody not too bad, and I know she's like engaged or dating, I think, a writer as well or something. So, but yeah. What do we got? Let's talk about the other movie that's coming out September 22nd. Spy Kids, Armageddon. Gwen liked this trailer. That's all I have to say. No, I'm joking. I just not maybe because I'm older, but I just feel like I can still say I can watch Spy Kids and still enjoy it. Like I don't think I hate that thing of like, well, of course it's a kids movie, you don't like it anymore. Like I can still tell when movie or family kids movies or family movies are still good, and this just did not look good. Did not look enjoyable. Looked very like made for TV. Like looked like a commercial at times. And Robert Rodriguez has not been good in a very long time for most of his projects recently. So yeah, not this
Boba
Daddy-O.
episode.
Yeah, but we'll be watching it because she seemed to like it. So
Yeah.
fuck, I forgot to give you guys a trailer. Fuck.
There you go.
I'm gonna talk
Don't have
about it
one.
after. You guys are gonna fuck. It's a Thanksgiving trailer. I forgot. Fuck. I'm so mad.
There you go. For Spy Kids though, I'm happy to know that Gwen liked it, because when I was watching this, yeah, it had like no magic for me at all. Just thinking, I'm like, man, this is not my Spy Kids at all. I can definitely still rewatch those ones, although they're very dated. All the CGI is fucking god awful, but I still really enjoy those movies, probably for just like the nostalgia as well as the actors that are in it. But I still saw those Spy Kids isms in there, like when they're getting like their spy gear and all those gadgets and stuff, and I could kind of for a moment see this through the eyes of, you know, a younger Kirkland. It's like, okay, it's cool that they have this, and obviously the more modern just technology that they can make the movies will probably just look a lot more refined than what that first one was. But not a movie for me. I don't think I'll be checking. Initially I thought yes, because it like they're going over like the same. They're going over the same motions that those first ones had, so it very much is just like the remake of them finding out their parents are spies. But I think just, yeah, it got a little too kiddie for me, unfortunately.
So to update you on that Samara Weaving movie, because I got a few things to say about this. One, the guy who's writing and directed is Jimmy Warden. That is Samara Weaving's husband. That's what makes me scared. Is it's going to be like, I'm sorry, Taylor, Paul W. Thomas or Paul W. Anderson with Mila Jovovich, or Melissa McCarthy when she goes and like her husband directs movies and they're fucking god awful and they do them together. And now I'm really worried because you got The Babysitter and that. So now that they're married, she's just doing all these shit movies with her husband. So worry about that one. Two, the movie, it's a bodyguard protects a pop star. Eric Dane, I think, is the fucking bodyguard.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so
Yeah.
excited for that.
So I was like, fuck yeah. I don't think he's playing the soccer guy. So now I'm really excited because Eric Dane is a bodyguard with Samara Weaving. But yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to.
Has he done anything since Euphoria that I would have been aware of?
No, but it sucks for him. He was about to be the villain in Bad Boys 4, but that got delayed because of the strikes and everything. He has a couple things happening. No Superman. He didn't get that Superman role.
Yeah,
but,
unfortunate.
yeah, that's exciting. But Taylor, Spy Kids do it for you?
No, I was not impressed watching this trailer. It just wasn't doing it for me, and I felt like, why do you got to keep doing this to this franchise? Like, it doesn't have that magic. Like we've gone through, like I'd say 3 was pushing the limit a little bit there. Like you get some cuckoo craziness, but it
My
wasn't
Kids 3D,
really-
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't capturing
The
that
guy.
magic like that first one had. And even the second one was really like a fantastic sequel. I really enjoyed it, but gosh, yeah, just I don't know. I remember playing games too, the Spy Kids 2 game or whatnot on computer back in the day. I think it was a cereal box game, but yeah, just such a such a shame that
Cereal box game.
it's such a shame that they can't capture the magic. This whole trailer, like, was there any practical like set pieces? Like the whole thing must have been completely CGI'd out the wazoo. And I'm not saying like the video game world. I think the real world was all super CGI'd. Nothing
Yeah.
was done outside, and it's just a shame to see that because you can clearly see that it's bad. And I've seen some Netflix movies have good quality CGI, but this maybe they were trying to go for that cheesy corniness of like quality,
Probably. Or not a
maybe?
huge budget, too. Just like, hey, that's what you got to
Yeah.
work with.
So I don't know, like Zachary Levi, this is his new big film. He doesn't seem to be promoting it as much as he was Shazam, but
He can't, Taylor.
oh right, the whole thing going on.
He's fucking
He doesn't
throwing
support
him.
it though.
He's just fucking throwing him out there. Oh, he's not supporting. He's not allowed to. That's
He doesn't
on
want this
strike.
one to do well.
Is he
Yeah.
on strike? I thought he was against it and all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought he
He-
countered it.
he said he,
This
like,
was
missed-
stupid.
Well, he
Yeah,
said something
Spy
like
Spy Kids.
he said something like that and then walked it back.
Because he's Spy Kids.
Strike
That's why he's
stupid
against
goes
the
his
strike.
Spy
Yeah,
Kids.
goes his Spy Kids.
Strike sucks. Spy Kids. It's September 22nd. No, he said some stuff and then he like walked it back. The same way Stephen Amell. They always fucking like walk it back. His comments weren't as bad as Stephen Amell, but yeah, he said some stuff that was like, I don't really know, but yeah. So he can't promote it if he wants to. He could get kicked out of SAG. So yeah. Next up, let's talk about Gen Z, The Boys. This is the final trailer. They said this is dropping September 29th. So there should be.
You said it again. You said Z.
Thank you, Kirkland. I don't know why I'm saying that. There should be a review. I don't know. My life. We will be reviewing this series. I just don't know if it's going to be the night of. It might be later on in the weekend because I might be out of town in America. That's undetermined yet, so we'll see. But we will be reviewing it. I think it's just hitting more on what I like. I've said this before that the Boys aesthetic works with like the college, high school hijinks, like shenanigans, sometimes very bad stuff. I did like the aspect of showing them, oh, you want to be a superhero, and then all the bad stuff of that, some of them not being able to let the leave. It had like a very almost Weapon X sort of vibe to it, which they hadn't really shown off before. So again, everything they show here, I'm digging all of it. I like that they confirm that this is happening between season 3 and 4. So the big thing that Homelander did is present in the world. So I'm not sure if they're going to comment on it, what's going to happen. So I like that we're not jumping all the way back. It literally is a sequel to The Boys. So everything, and we might see these characters in the future. So I'm looking very forward to this. The Boys does not let me down quality wise. So this trailer just even boosted my anticipation because I really like the being held against your will Weapon X sort of scenario that was going on.
Yeah, I like this trailer. I liked what it was going for. I like the comparison, the Weapon X feel that it had. I don't know. I'm not caught up in The Boys, so the universe isn't attaching me to this property. But man, we had Clancy Brown in there like right off the hop, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I gotta watch it. And then I found out it was The Boys. But it's great quality, so I would expect nothing less than that. So I definitely intrigued. Nonetheless, I think the trailer had me.
Mm-hmm.
I have been just craving for some more Boys action. Like it's been a good minute now. You know what I'm talking about.
Someone cut that out.
Add that to the GV movie.
I didn't pick the name
put on
for
some
that
lists
comic
right
book.
there. I've been looking for some more Boys action. That's like
The
that Kurt
Boys. I said The Boys.
That's like that Kurt Angle clip that I use in Gauntlet as a joke on myself of like, you're a man and I'm a boy and I'm a man who loves to play with boys. No, wait a second. That's what you literally just did. Like, oh, I've been looking for some more of The Boys action. Fuck.
Oh my god. The comic book based on the superheroes. Yeah, I just think that getting into a little bit more of the expansive universe is great. Bringing in the side characters that we get to know in that main series or the main show is fantastic because it just kind of makes the show feel a little bit more intertwined with the series, which I'm really happy with. The idea that they're all held against their will and it's not really so much a school, more so something a little bit more sinister. I really like that, and I think it's going to be cool to see how that unfolds, because originally I thought it was okay, just the university where they go and there's going to be like sex and drugs and murder and cover-ups and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that's not going to be in there. It probably will be to a degree, but it's going to be nice that it's not based on that. It's going to be based on the Vought doing very horrific things to kids and trying to keep it under wraps and a secret. And after we learned that they were injecting infants with the not Temp V, but the whatever you call it, the DNA sequence to make them as heroes. And so the kids weren't just born with superpowers; they were just turned into superheroes when they were really young. So I think there's a lot of really interesting things that are going to be exposed in this show. So.
God damn it.
He's doing it on purpose at this point.
Maybe the last one I did, just to get Travis. But
I'm ready for more Boys action. They're going to be doing things to kids. I'm ready for things to get exposed. Jeez Louise. Yeah. What do we got next? Bikeriders, which also okay. Well, maybe Taylor, you don't even have to edit this out. The fans can hear this. I'm thinking that we're probably gonna have to save those other topics for another newscast because I feel like we're pushing some time. I can see Kirkland over there. Kirkland, what time you work tomorrow?
6:30 actually. I'm starting
Well,
late.
that's not bad. So let's go. No, we can. Well, I apologize, but I think we're because my thing is we still have the What If season 2 to talk about, the MCU slate, the Sam Raimi stuff, and Groot. That's a lot. We did some ChatGPT stuff, and I don't want to rush it. So maybe what we can do is, even if there's no big news on Sunday, we could still just cover that with you. Taylor, of course, you can join because you just didn't say anything, but we can tell Kirkland that or Dylan that we have some news regardless, and just do it then. You know, does that sound better, Kirkland?
Thumbs
do that
up.
route. Okay, let's do that.
We
we apologize, but
Bring back the ChatGPT. Let's just do that all night.
yeah, I don't want to like rush to those topics and stuff. Let's have some actual conversation about them. So we'll just finish off with these trailers at least. So there you go. Look up for another newscast early next week. So Bikeriders. Do you guys have what?
You were gonna go. That was
You
my
know,
reaction.
you go. You laughed. You laughed.
I hated the name of this title of this movie.
It's a shitty. It's.
I didn't even know. Like I searched it up, but I didn't really process what it was. And then I was watching the trailer. I'm like, oh my god, okay, this trailer looks really good. And then once it just went Bikeriders, man, I just like shook my head. I'm like, that is the dumbest fucking title for this. Knowing that it's about like actual, like like just bikers, I guess, just the bike riders. I hated that so much, but you can go off with unless you just I don't know. I kind of share my thoughts. I like the look of the trailer. I like the vibe. I just liked all the moving pieces in it. I not a big like Sons of Anarchy fan, but something about this just really sucked me in. So I am very much looking forward to this. Austin Butler. I feel like I really haven't seen him in too many things, even though he's like a big name. You
didn't see Elvis, did you?
I never saw Elvis. Like I know I must have seen him somewhere, maybe in a minor role, but I haven't really seen him at the full star power. And he definitely, I think, exuded that from me just watching this trailer. He definitely had the charisma, and I'm excited to just have him on screen across from Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy's got another just crazy accent. Very much reminded me of his character from Peaky Blinders. It is a different accent, but just kind of the way that he talks, he's a bit of a kooky character, and I really like that type of. I like all sorts of Tom Hardy, but I feel like that one really gets me. And yeah, I don't know. This just looks like an intense. It's a movie, right? Yeah. Bikeriders. Yeah. So I think I'm tuning in for that one.
Wouldn't that be bold to do the series? Like, oh, you saw Sons of Anarchy, but you haven't seen this.
Yeah.
This has not only because it has Stat Cast, has Austin Butler, has Jodie Comer, has Tom Hardy, but people you haven't seen in this. You got Boyd Holbrook in there, so he's always good. You got Michael Shannon in there, and you also have Norman Reedus as well. So there's a lot of other people, and oh god, yeah. So anyway, I am a big fan of the director. I like Midnight Special. I like Take Shelter. I say I like Loving. Really like the other ones. I'm there for him. I'm there for the cast. I come from the perspective I am a massive Sons of Anarchy fan. Watched that series, watched it, every episode. I got on it, I think it's season 3 it was. So I start watching it live, and I love that. So it's this thing of like, hey, what more can they tackle here? And I get the idea. It's very Godfather-ish of we want you to take over the business. So it looks like it's basic in that route. And it's interesting because Jeff Nichols hasn't really done like really basic movies. I always have some sort of like Midnight Special. Like I think you guys all would like, but I think Taylor, it's up your alley where they like it's Michael Shannon with a boy, and it finds out that his son has superpowers, but it's just the government's after him. It's not like a superhero movie that he has powers, and Joel Edgerton's his friend, gonna get him out of there. And it's just like there's some really good. It's very different, and I don't know. This didn't look different to me, but I'll definitely be checking out. I don't know if it's going to be a day one in the theaters. It might be because I really like the cast. I really like Jeff Nichols, so it probably will be. The trailer didn't wow me though, so
But with the title, did the title wow you?
No, terrible title. That's a fucking awful title. The Bikeriders. I don't know. That's just, you couldn't think of anything else. Like, yeah,
Feels
it's
like
not,
a placeholder name, like Project
Yes,
the
working
Bike Riders.
title,
Okay,
Bike
yeah,
Riders.
let's
Yes.
figure out a title before we release the trailer, and they never figured that out, and it just released.
Many reviews compare this to Goodfellas. That makes sense. Also, about this probably in the Ray Liotta role, and Tom Hardy's in the De Niro role. So, yeah, okay, because Goodfellas, top 10 movie of mine. That's my favorite Scorsese movie. I fucking love Goodfellas. I watch that multiple times a year. I fucking love Goodfellas so much. So that's great to hear. So that gets me a little, and that makes sense too. Jodie Comer with the wife role, that very similar, because the same way of Goodfellas, but they get married young and it all deteriorates. So okay, that's all making sense. And yeah, Mud was great too. Jeff Nichols is great. So that's why I'm just taking it as it was a trailer that didn't wow me, but the actual movie will be good. So
I didn't really know what to take away from this when I started watching the trailer, because I had Madison on the couch and we're watching it at the same time. And I was like,
she was
this is like
chasing you throughout the house.
yeah, run at me.
boom,
So
boom.
watch this. I wasn't sure if this is like a Hell's Angels movie or like a specific theme, or
But no, they're not going to say Hell's Angels, but it's like that.
No.
I imagine.
I liked Tom Hardy's accent that he was doing. It was kind of like
That's his
a
real
weird.
voice.
No, his voice. Well, it was like there was a voice was similar, but it was different. It had an accent. He's like,
Okay.
all right, let's go.
No, let me, because I am joking that it's not his real voice. But Taylor, you have no idea what Tom Hardy's real voice is.
It's not his voice that he does in Venom, right? Is he British?
I'm not going to sound it out to you. You'll have to look it up. I'm just saying when you're like, you're like, that's not his voice. But like, I feel like you don't know his voice because like he's never using his real voice and stuff. This
see.
almost is a little closer to his, because he has like a higher pitched voice. It's not like as much as this, but, and I can't remember what he is.
He's British. He's got.
Is he British?
That's my guess.
He's got to be British. That's my guess.
Well, he's got to be. Come on. Yeah, English
just
actor. There you go. Hammersworth, London, UK.
Jack Hammersworth.
He's related to fucking
Wow.
Gerard's character.
So what you
Crazy
took?
accent he's got.
Yeah. So what you took away from it, Taylor, is this a movie you want to see, or is this a pass?
I did not clue in that Norman Reedus was in this, but it totally fits. That man is a
They didn't
biker
show
true
him,
and
so
true.
it's hard to clue in.
Oh, well, there we go. I would be tempted to see it because Norman Reedus is in it. I have not seen him in a.
Tempted.
I've not seen him in a movie since Boondock Saints, and
yes.
since
Blade
then it's
2?
just been Walking Dead.
He's
and,
great in Blade too.
And now he's doing
he was
Walking
in
Dead
Blade
again.
2.
He's
He's,
doing
he's
another
on his own show now for
Walking Dead. Daryl
yeah.
Dixon.
Death Stranding
yeah.
2.
Yeah, he's in
He's dead,
overseas. He's in France now.
Yeah. How
Um,
the fuck did he get? Like, I'm not watching.
He
the
woke
shows,
up
but
on a boat.
Did he wake up on a boat?
He woke up. He was unconscious on like a drifted sea and
Okay,
drifted
so
up
he's
under the
kidnapped
coast.
again.
Dimly lit.
Like imagine, like imagine that you're in Georgia, you get kidnapped. Where you wake up in France, like,
Oh,
Fuck.
like what happened there? Like, but yeah, apparently it's all been renewed for a season 2 as well. So
Oh shit. Yeah, Norman Reedus though. I mean, I would see this at some point at the comfort of my own home, within maybe like a 12-month period of its actual theatrical release to enjoy this film. So there you go.
there you go. Let's end off. Oh, I guess we have 2, and then a third that I want to mention that you guys didn't get to see. I'll mention that right now because I'll just quickly shit on it. So and we'll take our last ad break right now. So take our last ad break. We'll be right back. And we're back. So today, and they're probably doing this. Actually, I bet and I'll make you guys watch it on Sunday because that D23 thing is happening. And Goosebumps Midnight Reviews confirmed. No, that's the deconfirmed right here. So, but that's probably one of the things you're going to show at this D23 thing because the trailer came out and they deleted it from everywhere. Because I went to go show Emily because I was describing her how awful, how fucking dog shit. And I'm sorry, I try like to be positive, but how fucking abomination this thing looks. As a huge GeekVerse, I am a huge GeekVerse fan, but like I guarantee you I am in the top 1% of Goosebumps fandom. I'm not saying because I have to like own all the like pillows and shit like that. No, it's just like I fucking love Goosebumps. I at one point in my life when I was a kid told people to call me Slappy, and that's a true fucking statement. You can talk to my parents; they're probably very worried about me. But I fucking love Goosebumps. I bleed the monster blood, all that jazz. Those movies came out and just fucked me up. Now, I enjoy them for what they are. They are just like pretty much the way I describe them is if you were going to a park and there was the Goosebumps ride, you would sit in it, and not like Shock Street, because Shock Street's fucking banger. You would sit down and it's got the juice. And they're slappy. Oh, there's the scarecrows at midnight. There's the gnomes and there's Horrorland. That's what the movies are. It's just you watch a bunch of stuff they throw at you. And I've just was always disappointed of why aren't we adapting these books again? Especially we talk about we have better kid actors, the 80s and like Fear Street and Stranger Things. Like this idea of kids doing things are like exciting now in horror world. Why aren't we doing this? So again, we get this fucking trailer, which is awful. It's centered around these kids in a school. Justin Long's in it. He's the villain because Justin Long, he gets possessed by a boy ghost, goes in his mouth. I'm not trying to be like Taylor, but a boy ghost like he goes in there, and what the plot? Oh, I like it. But the plot is that. And maybe this is some book. I don't know. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. If it is, it's one of the newer ones. But what I don't like about it is it's a show, so it's going to be like 6-8 episodes, and it's just the one story. So we're not doing the Goosebumps thing, which we already knew, but we're not doing adapting the story. And it's this ghost boy has possessed Justin Long to go take revenge on the parents and their kids. And literally, and it has hip-hop music, bleh, for Goosebumps. Literally, it looks like it is a movie that was completely separate, and then they just added stuff. They added the camera from Say Cheese and Die. They added the cuckoo from the Cuckoo Clock of Terror, and then there's a box where they find a slappy-looking dummy. It looks like the same way. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Die Hard 3 was originally a script called Simon Says. It was not a Die Hard movie. The producers read it and they went, this would make a great fucking Die Hard movie, and they reverse engineer it. That's what this sounds like. With Die Hard, that's easier because there's a fucking like action movie. This just looks awful. Am I gonna watch all these episodes? Fuck, of course I will, because I'm interested to see what would they do with these Easter eggs. And I shouldn't because it should die. But you know what's gonna happen? They put out those mediocre movies. They put out this fucking terrible TV show. I'm gonna be a judge though, and what's a fucking terrible looking TV show. And they're just killing my brand. They're killing this brand so much that the next time something Goosebumps happens, no one's going to fucking care anymore because all this stuff keeps coming out and it's all generic stuff. And I'm so tired of it. Why can't I just get a 6 to 8 episode show? These stories are ripe for retelling, bigger budgets. I know we might get some shit CGI, so who knows? But like, I just don't understand this idea of this. There you go. Review each one and put some red eye thumbnails. 1 million plus views. I don't want to be that. I could be. That would be the reviews. It'd just be me fucking angry. Maybe it'll be a segment on GeekVerse News of just me 5 minutes tearing into Goosebumps. But I hate it. It just does not look like Goosebumps. I'm not trying to be that. Not my Goosebumps, but I just don't think it's a story. And I hate this idea of why can't we just adapt these stories? You know, like that's why people fell in love with this show is Haunted Mask and Tower Terror and the fucking Sponge and fucking the Mass Mutant, like all this stuff. Like no one's gonna watch the show. It's gonna fucking bomb, and then they're gonna be like, oh, no one really cares about Goosebumps anymore. No, it's because you're doing this with the brand. I digress.
Preach.
Okay. Little Lamb.
Oof.
We're in this world now where we got this all public domain popping off. We got Pooh earlier this year. That's in my bottom 5. We will finally get to do the Grinch or the Mean One, because we went through that last year and they didn't do the VOD. And I can't remember, there was something about it for some reason it didn't come out, like some distribution issue. Because I remember I talked to the director. He's like, oh yeah, it's coming out at some point, but it didn't. And then there was some sort of issue. So that's what happened, but we'll probably do that. So I don't know how that one was. And Superman Mike on that Goosebumps says it's a non-Marvel Disney show. It'll probably be canceled and deleted on the service within a month. Yeah, they'll do it like a tax write-off thing, 100%. But so we've getting a lot of these. I can't remember. There's like another one. I know there's like the Bambi one. I'm not interested in that. what I just need from these is what I was missing a little bit with Pooh is I just need them to lean into how like silly and stupid it is, and I feel like they don't. I feel like they take it too serious. I think Pooh a few times had like, oh, it's close. So I don't know about this one because then you're just making a generic horror movie. That's why I still want to see the mean one because that looked like it was leaning into the joke a little bit, but I don't know. Because I work at home, I will watch this. I'll put this on and I'll probably hate watch it. But the mean one currently sitting at a solid 2 on average on Letterboxd. So there you go. Mostly 1.5. Half star.
A lot of
reviews.
people got to see it though, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I will watch this at home. I think my biggest complaint, and Pooh had this a little bit, where this is supposed to be like a mutated man lamb guy, right? That's what you guys are taking from this?
Yeah.
It looked more like a mask, but I mean, obviously budget, right?
Well, that's my problem. Of like, I think it's supposed to be like a mutant, but I think he's just a dude in a costume. And even the way he moves, he just looks like a dude. So that's my issue of like, I'm already unlocked in the world, but maybe it's a so bad, so good. So yeah, I'll give this one a watch. The Bambi one, I don't have interest because that's just like, I don't need to watch a bad straight to DVD CGI because like that, like the CGI will be even more worse. So, but yeah, I got to laugh at least. There's a couple, I got to laugh of the woman playing Mary and some of her speeches and stuff. So that's like, okay, maybe I can enjoy some of this, but I don't expect a GeekVerse review or anything like that unless the strike content's getting real low, unless they start doing some big delays, but.
Yeah, I like the Mary carrot. Like I really like the opening of this trailer. Honestly, they like had me and then they kind of lost me when I actually saw the lamb. It was just like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like one of those blood and honey situations, which I never saw. You guys just told me, your thoughts a little bit here and there, and it doesn't really feel like something I need to push to the top of my list. And I can see this being pretty damn bad, but I am at least a little bit curious. I feel like the cast that was arriving at the cabin with Mary, like that was just a fun little dynamic there, and who knows, maybe they do get a little bit crazy with the lamb chasing them, but I definitely see what you're saying of it just seems like a generic horror movie, and I don't really want to just go through and be like, man, that was a waste of time, but I could also see myself throwing this on. My horror companion is my father, so maybe we'll throw this one on one of these nights. We're running out of movies to watch, but that's not really an issue these days.
Get to watch some scene where these two young people fuck each other, and you got the lamb. As always, he'll be watching through the barn, and then he pops up. Ah!
Oh yeah, it's like when I made Shay watch Midsommar with another one. Watch with my dad, me, Shay, and my dad watching Midsommar. This scene with the love potion. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great bonding. Yeah. What about you, Taylor?
I'm most likely going to see it, but I won't put it on for the family or anything like that.
No? 50 Shades, but not Little Lamb?
Yeah. It's just,
Okay.
I don't know. Is my overall excitement really there? Not necessarily. Like watching the trailer, it was definitely kind of cheesy because they were playing off of the nursery rhymes, and so when you have like Mary, like everywhere that Mary went, like that the lamb was sure to follow. I don't know the rhyme very well, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, and sure enough, like she's in the room, and then the fucking door kicks open, and the lamb's there. So those are gonna be lots of cheesiness, lots of I don't know, mediocre, predictable moments, stuff like that. I feel like the trailer showed probably the whole movie, and that's about it.
You're probably not wrong.
They go out to track these killers, and they go out and they find this house that's, first of all, not a big red flag. It's like, my name is Maddie, and she's all super chipper. It's like, this is weird.
It looked very similar to Pooh too, where they get like kidnapped, and then like even that part with the car when it stopped and like lamb like broke through the glass, like that's like a scene in Pooh.
Same universe.
Yeah, probably. We're gonna get. They can do it with the distribution, I think, right? They could do a whole crossover. They could do like Pooh versus Mean One versus Lamb. So
yeah,
man, can't wait. Can't wait for that crossover. Oh, and then finally, The Exorcist Believer. So there's two things I want to talk about this. One, the trailer, but two, this movie got pushed back a week because originally it was October 13th, and now we have the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie coming out. We haven't talked about that on cast, but that movie Second biggest pre-sales of all time, beat No Way Home. So just obviously Endgame's still the king there. That doesn't mean it's going to beat its opening weekend. Right now, it's projected like a $100 to $150 million opening weekend. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see about the legs, but I think this one's going to have good legs. The reason people are kind of like cautious is because like if you look at the tons of concert movies, they don't do that great. Like usually 100 million is like their cap, but it's just like I'm not surprised it's doing well. I'm just surprised it's doing so well. And it's one, good on her and her team, who Taylor Swift has literally one of the smartest teams in all Hollywood, or whatever you want to say, music, the industry. They were so smart that they tried to do a deal at some point with one of the distribution studios, like a Sony, a Warner Bros. That didn't go well. So all they did was they partnered with the theaters. So literally, these movies that are being delayed, they're in strike. One of these studios could have had like a piece of this, and they kind of, again, gee, who'd have thought, we're bullheaded again. So now just Swift's team and the theaters are just making money because they're distributing it. And I just feel like if this ends up being a big hit, like these studios, they just got to end the strike, man. Because I feel like as weeks go on, it's just starting to look worse and worse for them. Because I feel like they're just starting. People are going to start to figure out like, oh, we could cut the middleman. And that's not everything, right? But like you could cut the middleman out a lot more. And that's where it's smart. Where now, of course, there's going to be other distributors that she'll have to split money with. There's other companies she's partnered with. Because at first it was Cineplex in Canada, and then there's one that handled the Landmark thing. But in our home, all those showing, and they were sold out Marvel, Star Wars, Force Awakens style, where day one, when those tickets went up, those first showings were all gone. And they were very smart, because at first I thought it was gonna be like a limited run, because there were only tickets for like that weekend, and then now it's like it's playing until I think the Marvels and stuff, and thank goodness the Marvels isn't there. So I think it like legitimately has a chance. Like it could end up being the biggest movie of the fall. Like you look at the fall, it's crazy. It's one of these things. And also you got to remember too, these tickets cost more than an average movie, because they're $20 for an adult and $13 for a kid. So that's where that also helps too, but they're still selling out. And I think it's smart. We were at the beach almost today, or not today, this weekend. I was talking about this with Shay, because we're both going to the Eras tour. And this is, I think, the sign that there is no more dates, because this is smart where, hey, the people that couldn't get tickets or couldn't afford them, now you got your option of seeing it here. And whatever people want to say, Taylor Swift is the it girl. I'm sorry for people, the Beehive people. She's eclipsed Beyonce right now. She is the it girl. The it person in music and stuff. And this is where she has to strike while the iron's hot. So it's just interesting. We're out of nowhere. I'm going to pull up, because I know Kirkland, you'll probably go next. I'm going to pull up what else is coming out in the fall. And that's what I'm just going to ask you would be the biggest movie. Here, I'll run it down before you go. You got October, Exorcist, which we're going to talk about. That moved back a week because they were smart. You got Taylor Swift the next week. And then the week after that, you got Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't think it's going to be a big box office one. You got Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't think that's going to blow it up. It'll do well. You got the Marvels, and then Hunger Game, and then Disney's Wish. And then later on, you got like the Bikeriders. You got Wonka and Aquaman 2. So there is some big heavy hitters later on. I guess for the Taylor Swift thing, it's just a question of what are the legs of the movie, right? Does that have repeat business after that first week? Do people go back? That's where I don't know if it's going to be like $1 billion movie or stuff like that. I think it's going to be very front loaded, but I think it's going to be a chance of you could see it in like a top 15, top 10 even this year, because some movies haven't done that well. So
yeah, I think it'll be surprising to see the legs on it. I honestly think that the fandom is just so crazy that they're gonna just keep going to see it, even though it's the same recording of the concert. I mean, I'm going. Shay's taking me, and she's seen her live, and she still just wants to go see it. So luckily, there's a 2:45 showing on the west side that literally only has like 4 people in there. But yeah, like on the 6:15 on day one, October 13th. Yeah.
When did you look at that? Because when I looked, I didn't
just now. I double checked because I ain't got tickets yet, even. So I had to make sure.
I think that's an added
possible.
one, because I think when I looked when they first went out, I think it was just like there's a 3. I think it was like a 4, 6, and an 8. So I think they're gonna add screens, because why wouldn't you?
I'm glad I can see it early, because I feel like the 6:15 and the 9:15 show are just gonna be. It's gonna be like a concert. People are gonna be just going wild, and I don't
fun,
really.
Though,
it could be, but like coming
really
off work
that.
on a Friday, like I just want to see the concert. Even if I was going to the concert, I wouldn't want to be in the floor seats, and I feel like I'm going to be in the floor seats sitting in the theater at the 6:15 show. So
I want to hear Bejeweled, not you. Shut the fuck up.
I
wanna shimmer.
Song.
Just
just ripping signs. I can't fucking see anything. But I mean, yeah, very, very smart. Very, very, like you said, just seizing the opportunity. No movies are coming out, so they just come in there, skip the middleman, and it like blew me away just seeing the numbers of like the pre box office.
No Way Home.
But like once I settled, it's like that actually makes sense. Like she's just so. Like when you think of how fast her just concert tickets go, and it like instantly, like you have to be there early. Not surprised at all that, especially like in our region, there's not a concert. Like the only concert in the country is in Toronto, which is
the most expensive place in Canada.
Yeah.
That's for the one place
way on the other side of the
Yeah.
country. So yeah, it makes sense the ticket sales are where they're at because I mean, yeah, like you would have to go to the States or something. Like Seattle would be closer than going to Toronto for that.
1989 exact, to be sure. And again,
American.
that will help too because American. Which I think we got that price. Did we were our $20?
I think we're like 25. I think it's like when I saw it, I'm like, fuck, $50 right there.
So that's the other thing, but that's tough, right? Because you have movies like same thing as Avatar, like they got a lot more because you got 3D on there and everything. So I'm because to me it's like it doesn't matter if the tickets. Of course, it's more expensive, but you still got to put ass in the seats. You know, it's not going to break the record. You can sell a movie for fucking $50, but if people aren't buying your tickets, you're not going to be breaking no records, right? So, Taylor, you got anything saying Taylor Swift, or you just want to transition to Exorcist?
Oh, nothing wrong with Taylor's doing good stuff out there.
Were you surprised by just some of the news, though, like the sellouts and like the beating No Way Home, like second biggest pre-sale day of all time, stuff like that?
That's really, really impressive. I mean, just to drop something like that and then be like, hey, tickets are selling like crazy. I mean, holy smokes, because that's without proper advertising months on end. It's not like a No Way Home.
It was the same day. It was literally
Yeah.
just tickets are on sale now. Movie's coming out October 13th.
Yeah, that just blows my mind. But again, she's always had like a really powerful, dedicated following. So it just goes to show how current she is with that.
Exorcist, what do you think about this trailer? Because they moved off, it's coming out the 6th, so now you got Saw, and the week after you got Exorcist. That's one thing I was going to say, too. It's going to be really interesting, the box office, because usually October is the month of horror movies, but now if you got Swift kind of taking up the box office, it might not be. Five Nights at Freddy gets 2 weeks after, so maybe it'll help, but I think, unfortunately for those other movies, that this is going to just fucking swallow the box office up.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many movies that we really have in this short period of time, and I just keep thinking.
And The Creator too is coming out too. We keep forgetting about.
And The Creator, I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, it's gonna be very unfortunate we have that drought of movies in the next year or so. But regarding The Exorcist, I think any moment when you see a person speaking weird and they start eating Bible page books, you gotta fucking do something about this because that's not good for anybody. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just looks absolutely terrifying, and it's been a long time since I've ever seen like that first one, and I will get to this eventually. I'm never in any kind of a rush to watch Exorcist films because they're just they hit very heavy for me. But yeah, it looks terrifying. It looks freaky, and I don't know, just being a parent and just knowing like kid could just walk off into like where a witch hut is and be part of some psionic ritual or something. I don't know. It's just terrifying. Like I gotta protect my own. So
Kirkland.
Yeah. So this is the second trailer, right? Because they had that one teaser. What movie was it? Where it was Oppenheimer. There you go. I was not expecting to see that trailer there, and it scared the shit out of me. I feel like just the kid dynamic, and not just having one kid, but two, just very freaky. And they were scaring the shit out of me before I was about to sit down for a 3-hour Oppenheimer movie. So I was very just surprised. I didn't even know it was like an Exorcist movie. It was just a freaky deaky film, and then Exorcist with kids, that's a terrifying concept. So this trailer as well, like I feel like it just built upon that fear factor I have. It very much reminds me of the Evil Dead Rise, even though for that one it was the mother, just like some sort of I don't know, family member thing
Yeah.
going crazy in this is really freaky. And I really like this because it feels like a very fresh coat of paint on the Exorcist franchise. I don't recall what the last one would have been, but like I just think of like the first one, and then I think the other one that I saw was The Exorcist of Emily Rose, and like that was like that. Those were the only Exorcist films I have. All my core memories are really from that first one, just because of the scenes that have kind of been laughed about, like in the Scary Movie spoofs and then things like that. But I'm very looking forward to this. Well, maybe not. I'm a little scared to watch it, but I'm excited to get there nonetheless. You know, you if you love to be scared, or I feel like I don't love to be scared, but I still really appreciate these types of movies.
Yeah, I think the last one for like the Exorcist franchise was the beginning. It was like a prequel because also there's the other extra movies, but the other ones is like, I think it's just that one. So yeah, I don't know. I think the first trailer for me was better.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just that thing when I come down to where I am in life. It's like, do I need to go out and see this in theaters? And I think this trailer sold me no. Like I think it's one that I can wait until later on, unfortunately. So because I got Saw, and then I'm hopefully we can sneak in the Creator. I won't see the Eras one yet because I'm going to concert. Okay, I'm not going to be spoiled. Even Emily was telling me there's a playlist out for this show. I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to look in this shit.
Yeah.
But Swifties are all over it. And then Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm not seeing in the theaters. I'll see it at home. So it all depends on life. But I don't know. It just didn't sell me as like a must to have to see. So yeah, there was one line in the trailer I really liked when the little girl I thought was going to be a trick, but she wasn't, when she just said, like, please, I don't want to go to hell. I was like, okay, there's some aspects here, like this little girl's crying, and like it seems like she's acting very well. So like, okay, there's some almost like heartstring things that could be pulled on, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm mixed on. I don't think it looks bad per se, but I don't know if it looks like a movie that I'm going to watch and then a couple weeks later not remember, like just kind of forget about it. I don't know, because that's a genre that is like, there's tons of them, right? So it's like, what new do you do? And like I said, I'm looking for more new than just, oh well, this time there's two of them, you know, like, and that's what I worry it is, that it's the same movie but there's two of them. So I don't think I'll be there day one, so we'll see. Like I said, if I hear great things, maybe, but I don't think I'm going to hear two great things. So I'll definitely watch this by the end of the year, though, if it's on VOD, which I think it will. They'll put it out, and then I think it's not going to do the greatest because I just don't think the Exorcist brand is that big. And then, yeah, from there, find out. So that's it. We did it. Big cast for good thing we put this in one part, because just alone this is a 2:15.
Yeah, I need to brew some coffee if we kept going.
Kirkland looking at those four topics, but yeah, so we'll be back later on this weekend. We'll do another newscast. Maybe some D23 stuff will pop up. Thank you everyone from the live chat. Thank you everyone for listening. I promise you it'll not be boring.
Bye-bye.